There's a fair bit of mud just sort of up the central corridor, full forward to centre half forward, if you like, at both ends of the ground. The ground's a little bit squelchy underfoot, so I'm not too sure that a lot of this water's going to go away, which is a little bit unfortunate. But having said that, there's no breeze, so that's not going to have an impact on the game. Both teams are now on the ground. Umpires have just trotted out as well, including Mr. Fitz for game number 3 for the day.
We won't mention that now. Andrew Fitz there.
Right.
He's the goal umpire today. He's a tall figure. If you're watching the stream, won't miss him. He was, I think, goal umpire in the reserves game, then a field umpire in the women's game, and now is back here, boundary umpire. Pretty good effort, Geardy.
Very good, yes, and an old teammate of mine from up at St Pat's. So,
there you go.
Fantastic effort from Fitzy.
And, Tony, we might get back to you in a moment once the toss has been done and talk a bit further.
No worries.
Tony Webb down there, our boundary rider this afternoon. Umpires today, speaking of umpires, Ollie Pye, Tom McEntee and Hayden Shepherd, the 3 umpires officiating this afternoon, field umpires. As both teams are out on the ground, I think the midfield battles are going to be key to this game, Darren. I mean, on a day like this, if you can get some quick entries, you can score, from those entries pretty heavily. Yeah,
I think ball out of the middle, if you can get it in there, obviously the defence can't structure up as much. They can't sort of push numbers behind sort of thing. So, I think the midfield battle is going to be a key part to this game.
A player that I think is having a great season, and he's starting to kick some goals, is Jack Avent. I mean, you talk about experienced players. He continues to get the footy and continues to contribute. Yeah, I've
watched Jack over the years. I had a little bit of an opportunity to be involved with the representative football, and just to see how he goes about his football, certainly elevated my opinion of Jack, even though it already was fairly high.
There's a couple of late changes for Launceston if you're a bit of a footy nuffy like myself and checked Play HQ last night. There's been some changes from that team. So Lenny Faulkner and Lucas Sullivan are late outs for Launceston, and they're replaced by Noah Hedger and Jess Buller. We've just got the toss down there now. Brady Polferman and Declan Chugg. Tony, what happened?
Declan Chugg won the toss, and he's kicking to the city end of the ground, which is south. As I said, there's no breeze out here, so the better team's going to make the most of the conditions, I suspect. But having said that, both teams are raring to go. I'm expecting a really good game here. I think the pools of water might have an impact on the game, though. Certainly where I am right now, they won't be bouncing the ball. So I think it'll probably be reasonably low scoring, and my view is I think North will hold on and win it by about 4 or 5 goals.
Okay, thank you, Tony. I'm going for North by about 10 points. Darren, I know you're a Lonnie man.
I'm a Lonnie man.
You're picking an upset.
Well, let's say Launceston by 3.
Okay, fair enough. Look, there's some interesting players for Launceston as well this year coming back. You got the likes of Ryan Tyrrell and Jacob Boyd, who just added a little extra experience to the team, haven't they?
They certainly have, yeah. And it's probably not lost that both of those players tend to play behind the footy, so I think it really sort of gives them some structure behind the footy.
One player that North Launceston really looked at to kick some goals, and he's been kicking quite a few this year, as he did in previous season, is Brandon Leary with 44 goals. Yep. That match-up will be interesting, won't it? Because he's very quick off the mark and a very electric sort of player.
It'd be interesting to see who they... I think historically Jaden Hines has gone behind the footy and played on him a lot, sort of thing. So, but then I think a lot this year that Jaden's sort of been more of an on-baller rather than playing in defence. So, it'd be interesting to see who that matchup is.
We've got that swing player, Zach Morris. You know he can contribute at either end.
Yes.
You think he'll line up in defence?
I think he'll start forward.
Okay.
I think he'll start forward, but as they may go with the two-prong tall attack and see how that works. But you're right, I think with Launceston, the flexibility that either Wilkinson or Morris can go behind the footy at any point in time.
It's such a big game, isn't it? Because this is where the grand final is going to be. Now, we don't want to go the early crow and say these will be the grand finals. There's a long way to go, but that's where the odds lay. And, it's always been said that Launceston struggle on the big expanses of UTAS Stadium. So whatever happens today, they want to come out with some confidence leading into the finals.
It's interesting now, because now with the work that's been completed at Windsor Park, that surface now, the oval over there is a similar size to this, and the surface is probably as good as, if not maybe slightly better than this at the moment, sort of thing. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens when we get to the business end of the season.
Yeah, we mentioned the Under-16 Championships briefly, and Brad Cox Goodyear's role in that, but we've got young Sam Husband here today, who was involved in, and a lot of the talk was about his performances, so it'd be interesting to see where he lines up today and how he contributes.
Yeah, and look, he's a great young kid, Sam. I've had a little bit to do with him through the school football program, and he's been in the office a little bit, so as a great young kid.
One out today is Lockie Presnell for Launceston. I know he's down there carrying some drinks, so you're not sure of what he's in?
No, not sure. No.
Okay, nothing getting too serious because he seems to be moving okay down there on the boundary. Okay, so about ready to get underway here at UTAS Stadium. It's round 11 action. You're with City Park Radio, 103.7 and 96.5, and via the AFL Tas live stream.
And Morris has gone forward.
Okay, he picked it as Lee gets the first tap out. Shark by Gillow. Nice handball to Polfreman. Torpedo inside 50. Almost a mark there to Morris. Off the ground, Conway. Into space. Chance here for Price. Can he pick it up? Can he snap? Yes, he can. Just got pressured as he kicked it. There, the young player there, in Finn Price. There's two Prices playing today, of course. Finn and Jesse. And Finn Price gets the first score. Good clearance there, Darren.
Very good, yeah.
So the kick out for fullback by Fletcher Bennett. Over the back, mark taken by Lockie Mitchell. His kick's not good. Looking there for Jake Nash, and it just rolls over the boundary line. A little bit off balance there when he kicked it.
Just with the conditions, I suppose, early, ball being dry, like you saw Launceston use handball out of the middle there quite effectively as well. Yeah,
Gillow and Paul Freeman, two players they're going to look to in the engine room today. And pretty impressive Dylan Farquhar, who's moved across from Bridge North, Darren. He's really acquitted himself well in the season so far.
Had a really good game against North last time as well. Yep. So, I think they'd be looking to sort of him to really give him first use out of the middle.
A vent to half forward, punched away from Ship by Husband. Player wrapped up in a tackle. We'll get a ball up. North Launceston 70 metres out from goal. Farquhar uses his body well, gets the tap to a little bit of space. In goes Gillow. Tackle made pretty well there. One of those ones that could have slipped high, but Stingle laid the tackle. Stingle had a bit of an injury a few weeks ago, but he's back in the stateside last week. And playing again today is Lee. Left foot inside 50. Husband takes the mark. Dodged it well. Running there towards the town end goal. And Sam Husband right behind this one on the stream. And for our City Park Radio listeners, he's kicking to the town end. And he's about 30, 35 out when he delivers. Sam Husband for the first goal of the game. Kicks it beautifully. And North Launceston are on the board here at UTAS Stadium. They're 1 goal straight, 6. Launceston at 1 behind. So that's a bit of a confidence booster for the young man.
Great start for Sam there, yeah.
And look, he's growing up, isn't he? I know he's only in grade 10, but he's physically starting to develop, and he's going to be a real good inside mid. Do you think that's where
I think so.
Future
I
lays?
think that's where he sort of will end up, yeah.
So North Launceston off and running. And we'll check some other scores as we go along today because there's some interesting games. And I just got a message from Matthew McGee up there at St Pat's, and St Pat's lead by 1 point with 2 minutes left. So that would be a little bit of an upset there over Bracknell. I think a second place at the moment. Keep an eye on that one. And we'll go around the grounds pretty soon in the Northern Premier League as well. 3 games today. This is the late start. Up it goes. Farquhar wins another tap. Taken by Paul Freeman. His handball's not effective. Off the ground, Stingle towards Chug. Slight fumble. Gillow's done well early in this game. He scoops it out there towards Jeffries. Kick to half forward. Good spoil there by Conway. It's going to spill out here towards Buller. Getting there first is Bennett. Bennett and Buller. Just Buller, the late inclusion. Tracks the ball towards the boundary line. And it's going to be nearly out of bounds. It's going to be a ball up, I reckon. No, it's holding the ball. Might get you past my binoculars, Darren. I left them over there. Thank you. As it's in that very difficult pocket. And it was holding the ball there, I think, against Conway. Yeah. Isaac Smedley with the ball. Left back pocket. Part of the Devil squad. Invited now to play on. Kicks a high ball to the wing. Front spot there was Chug. Kick up the wing. Bouncing footy. Leary overran it. Mopping up his Hines. That's Jaden Hines. Throws on the boot to half forward through that big puddle of water. That's a strong mark. Taken there by Ben Height. Goes straight away towards Morris, who marks in the forward pocket. Tough angle, 20 out, up against the boundary line. And smart play there from Ben Height, Darren.
Yeah, look, basically got possession, wheeled and got it in there, knowing that the probably North hadn't had the opportunity to structure up behind the footy. This is probably one of the issues with Zach this year. Has been his goal kicking. So if he can snag the first one, would be certainly good for his confidence.
To get the lead back. 4.5 minutes gone in the first quarter. Zach Morris kicks the in from May Park end. It was always near side. 2 behinds now, Launceston. North Launceston 1 goal straight 6. Group, some early stats.
Clearances, Launceston have 3 to North Launceston's 1, and 3 onside 50s to Launceston to North Launceston's 1, where they got the goal from Husband.
Yeah, so they've had a lot of the footy early. As Fletcher Bennett kicks wide. Lee just got himself under the footy, couldn't take the mark. Getting out there was Jacob Kerr in the headgear. Now Jake Hines kicks towards goal, front position Conway. Good spoil, Ives. Ives on the rebound now. Handball's over the top. Tries to get connection here with Avent. Didn't get a kind bounce. Just in that area of the ground we find it hard to see in our commentary position. Ben Hyatt launches for goal. But, that was almost a mark there to Wilkinson. Now, was it front on contact? No, it's going to be a one behind signal there by umpire Andrew Fitz. 3 behinds Launceston. North Launceston 1 goal straight 6. As Theo Ives has it in the back pocket. And St Pat's are held on by a point. Thank you, Matthew McGee, from the John Cunningham Oval up there against Bracknell. That's a big result for the ladder there in Division 1. Jake Nash gets it out here towards Stingle. Now Avent shoots the handball here in the direction of Simpson. Getting there first is Tyrrell. Simpson did well to apply pressure. Connell McCormack back to Bailey Gillow. Beautiful kick to the wing. Finds a player in space there in Finn Price. Finn towards half forward. Theo Ives front position off hands. Spills out of bounds. So Lonnie getting a lot of the play, Geedy.
Yeah, they are. They're sort of and being able to sort of lock it in their forward half. So a positive start.
Conditions are far better than what we expected here when we saw the forecast during the week. We've now got still conditions. The ground is a little bit heavy with surface water, but certainly it's no breeze and a little ray of sunshine. It's a coin of phrase. As Farquhar can't quite take it with him. Now Jeffrey swings it towards full forward. Front position Wilkinson, off hands Bennett, back to Ives. Dummies the kick, then gets the handball back to Bennett. Smart play, Ives. State player. Up here towards Will Gibson, he can't take the mark. Off hands McCormack of the Tiernan variety. His fellow number 7 picks it up in Bennett and sees it over the boundary line.
Great to see Jacob Kerr out here. Like, he copped a really bad injury early in the year against Deloraine. I think it was actually a skull fracture to his skull. Yes. So I was talking to him during the week at school footy. It's great to see him back playing senior footy. Certainly.
A good servant to the North Bonnet Footy Club. Boy from Winnaleah. The ball falls a bit short there. Kerr goes in on it. So does Avent, who got one high. And Jack Avent will take the free kick on defensive 50. Goes sideways. That's Lockie Mitchell. Goes wide here towards Sam Simpson. Puts his arms up and takes a strong mark. Defensive side of the wing. Looks for the 45 kick. He might have to settle down the line. He does now. It's a lead up here from Gibson. It's a poor kick. Lands in the mud on the boundary line. Out of bounds on the full. 1 goal straight North Launceston. Launceston 3 behinds. Other scores. I'll just get a little refresh on that. And at Deloraine. To that in a moment as the play's back underway. Up the wing, off hands. Taking it back there by Smedley. Handballs to Bennett, who's under pressure. Back to Smedley, who fumbles. Now he's under pressure. Front on tackle there from Gillow. Umpire says no prior. Be a ball up.
Not quite sure where Jake Hines is lying. I might sort of pay attention there, see if I can work out.
He's on the ball at the minute here.
Yeah.
There's a good walk there from Gillow, but then he fell over. Gets it out towards Farquhar. Gets it now to Jesse Price. His kick goes up and down in the one spot nearly. Jake Hines thumps it on towards Ben Hyatt. He's dispossessed. Wide handball. Jaden Hines. There's a whistle back on play as Jaden Hines kicks it out of bounds on the full.
I think
downfield?
Jesse Price, so I think it's a downfield, so I think it's going to Jaden Hines. So he hand passed it out, mistaken high.
So he'll get a second opportunity.
Oh, no, it's come back to Jesse. Sorry, it's come back to Jesse Price.
Jesse Price, son of Darren, who's going to be about 35 metres out when he delivers right in front. Jacob Kerr on the mark. So they've been peppering the goals, Launceston. Kicking to the Invermay Park end. Let's see what Jesse Price can do. He's gone back a long way. We had a 30-second clock. He'd be on the edge of it right now, and he comes. Gets a bit sideways on. Kicks high. Won't make the distance. Fades away. Punched out of bounds. We get a boundary throw in the forward pocket.
Launceston have had a lot of ball in their forward half. Just really need to capitalise and actually put the score on.
It's those three behinds. Inside 50s, Grooms?
6 now to Launceston and still just the one to North.
Okay. So the boundary umpire flings it back into play. Front position, Lee. Dumps it back towards the boundary line. He's got a target there in Stingle, who takes it on the run. Penetrating left foot kick up the wing, looking for Gibson. He was in a wrestle there with Jaden Hines. And umpire says, Will, you were holding on there to Jaden Hines in that contest. So Jaden Hines with a free kick, centre wing.
Match up down the forward line of Theo Ives on Archie Wilkinson's one to watch.
Absolutely. 2 players in the state team last week. It's kicked towards half forward. Kerr thumps it away, but it spills to the back. They dive in. Theo Ives was there. It's shoveled out. Jake Hines, handball to space. Gee, there's a lot of players around the contest. They're pushing it back. Kick's going to come back to Launceston. And not sure who the player was
Jesse
who was...
Price again. I'm not sure the offending player. Simpson, was it? Or?
It was Oscar Mansell, I think.
Right.
He was not real happy with the decision. But it's coming back again to Jesse Price. Probably a bit further out this time, Darren. And on exposed form, he may struggle to make the distance. He gets some extra distance with the stand rule. It's not a bad connection. This time, it is a goal. Well, he learned from the first one. A bit of push and shove afterwards. And a goal there to Launceston through the agency of Jesse Price. And they take the lead in this contest. 1-3-9 to 1 goal straight 6. A reward for effort, Giddy.
Yeah, look, they've had a fair amount of inside 50s there, so certainly need to look at putting a score on the board. Put the pressure back on.
So we've got a blood rule?
We have. Finn Price, I think.
Yep, Finn Price coming off the ground. Placed by Jess Buller. Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas for all your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. Umpire McEntee has the footy. The centre of the ground. Players settle. Margin 3 points. Blues in front. Lee taps it out beautifully to Stingle, but he didn't take it with him. On the follow-up. Chance now Avent. Left foot kick towards half forward. Fumble there by Boyd. Couldn't pick it up. Now Stingle again, who's been influential. Thought he might have almost got one high there. But umpire says no. There's more push and shove. Don Pitt's in there. Good young player.
Yeah.
Played in the Devils last year, I think.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Went away, and then it's a return to Tassie. There's Jake Hines. Off a step, kicks it up the wing. Conway takes it, spins out nicely. Gets himself right on the boundary line. Kick up here. Direction of Lockie Mitchell. He can't quite take the mark. Spills out of play. So today, the big reunion for the 1995 Premiership team for North Launceston. We're victorious over Clarence in that famous grand final at North Hobart. And Anthony Loon will be joining us at half-time, Giddy, to reminisce about that year.
It'd be interesting to hear from Looney, who's leading as far as votes for the celebration. I would suggest Chris Hills would be up there.
I think Reese is over too. He might be a contender. Yes. There's a tackle laid there. Let's get my glasses up to see who was the player. And he's caught holding the ball.
It was Ethan Conway who made the tackle, was it? Or I thought
I don't think it's a sleeve player.
No.
It's number 16, so that's Wheeler.
Good solid tackle, though.
Absolutely. He's a player that's really just developed year upon year, hasn't he, Jacob Wheeler? And he laid the tackle there on his opponent, a Ryder Bug, the youngster with the orange boots. So Wheeler, he's a long way out. He'll deliver from the paint of 50 against the boundary line. Goes to the goal square. Wilkinson's there. It's through his hands. From the spillage, Buller up against the boundary line. He's bustled over. Good pressure there from Jack Avent. Boundary throw in.
When this building comes down, will they move it?
yeah. Just that little edge of the building there. There's been a few boundary throw-ins in that very area, which is a little blind spot here on level 4. But the building is coming down very soon. Last day for the North Launceston faithful in their social rooms. Lockie Shea, I think, is the one there that delivers the ball outside 50. Mark taken by Jake Nash. Jake Nash takes his time. Kicks up the wing. Western mark there to Aganis. Falls to the back to Jake Hines. And he'll kick forward. Only as far as Jaden Hines, back to Gillow. Gillow's handball. Ends up there with Tyrrell. He handballs it out of bounds. A scrappy passage of play. Just pretty sure he was in the team. Bo Nash was named in the team. Haven't spotted him yet. And for a player that gets a bit of the footy, I might refer that one to Tony. Is Bo Nash out there? And if not, why not? We'll get some information on that as the ball comes back towards the boundary line. Right in front of the interchange area. You spotted him? He's there. He just hasn't been involved yet. And for a player that gets 30 to 40 possessions a game, he's just been a little bit quiet. So Tony cancelled that. We've spotted him there on the boundary line. He's about to come back on. 15 minutes gone in the first quarter. The Blues lead by 3 points. Stingle working hard. Oh, gee. Came out of that pack awkwardly. Now Dom Pitt over the top. Simpson tackled. Great tackle by Jess Buller. The youngster. Play on to advantage, is it? Yes, it is. Jaden Hines runs his full measure. Tries to spot up Wilkinson, but getting in the way as Ives. Just the ball hung in the air just a bit too long there.
Just gave him a good enough look at it, didn't it, really? So
Theo Ives plays on now. Penetrating kick towards half forward. Gibson is the target, but getting in the way is Jake Hines with an intercept mark. It's the first intercept mark for Launceston in this quarter. Short kick. Goes in the Boyd direction. He takes the mark. Back end of the centre square. One step kick up here towards Buller. Can't quite take the mark up against Avent. Oh, that's a beautiful play there by Jeffries. Put his teammate under pressure in Tina McCormack. He'd like to have his time back again, I reckon, Jeffries.
Just
beautiful pick up in the wet.
Just noticed from that play there, Jake Hines, he had numbers outside and he looked corridor straight away. So that may sort of signal the intent as to what they want to do there.
Oliver Atkins coming off with the blood nose. Hines might have been held by Bennett. He was. Good umpiring. Aidan Shepherd, I think that is. Geardy?
Yes, correct. Yep. That is, yes.
So came back to Jake Hines, and he's, you expect him to play well, but he's been pretty good in this first quarter. Leading from the front. Here's Wilkinson on the lead. Once again, it sits up. It clears him. Over the back, mopping up his Ives. He just throws on the right boot, but it's going to come back here to Hines. He's clean bowled by it. Avent with a sideways handball to Bennett. Bennett back inside to Pitt. Pitt has Avent running by. He's under pressure, though. They coughed it up. Turnover. Boyd now to Jake Hines. And there's a lot of handballing to players under pressure, Darren.
Yeah.
And we've got a free kicker, though, to Jake Hines. Tries to spot up Wilkinson. Doesn't quite get to him. Jake Nash did well. Jeffries wrestles free. He was held. No, Jake Nash was held. Free kick.
There's a couple of instances there where Archie's Wilkinson's had space. Theo seems to have sort of been dropping back more in a sort of quarterback type role. So
just interesting those handballs to players under pressure when maybe the longer kick is the option on still a damp day. Off the ground there by Hyatt. Off the ground again by Jeffries, but straight to Ives. He's playing a quarterback role there now. He kicks it wide here to Avent. He's had a lot of it already. Gets it to it with a bit of time. Jack is the call. The 45 kick works out well now to Pitt. Dom Pitt, attacking side of the wing. Players leading left, right and centre. So has to go the long option here, looking for Chug. Can't quite take the mark up against Hedger. Oh, is that a high tackle? It is. Umpire McEntee was right on the spot. Will Gibson. So going to go up, take the kick. Jaden Hines and Declan Chug. Oh, jumper punching. They separate the two 19s. So Will Gibson, who started the year in the seconds, kicked a few bags of goals. And he's about where Sam Husband was earlier in the quarter. Maybe a little bit further out. 40 metres to the town end. 10 metres in from the boundary line. That's a lovely kick. Will Gibson fades at the left. So one behind. 117 to 139. Even contest. Some stats, Dave Gruber.
Clearance is North Launceston up to 7 to Launceston's 4 and inside 50s. That was North Launceston's second for the quarter, and Launceston have racked up 11.
Right, 11 to 2, Darren Gear. Just shows the dominance in field play they've had. Now, Palfreyman took the mark from the kick out, kicks it to Jeffries on the boundary line. Angus Jeffries has to be a pinpoint kick, and it is. Finds Jesse Price. Two Price boys have had a good first quarter. Takes off now. Nice looking drop punt towards half forward. Lots of players fly for the contest. Zach Morris gets to the front, slips over, handballs it straight to Pitt. And Pitt was flattened after he got rid of it by Finn Price, so he kicked down the field. Going to the dangerous Leary, he's been quiet so far. Centering kick, finds Bo Nash, who's also been quiet. Now to Lockie Shea. Chips the kick now to Gibson. Can't quite take the mark. Pressure from behind there from Seth Pfeiffer. He picks the footy up now, Pfeiffer. Handball away to Ship. Ship kicks into the centre of the ground now to Hyde, who just kicks it straight away. And Jake Hines is clear. If Morris can pick it up. Morris to Hines. Lovely kick. He'll waltz in the goal and kick the second for Launceston. How did he get so much latitude, Darren Gear?
I would suggest that North thought that they had one possession and they basically all their defenders pushed up and Jake Hines and Zach Morris was actually injured. So the advantage of Zach was actually down on the ground down here. No one was with him. So when the ball came out, Launceston had 2 players forward.
A cunning plan there from Zach Morris. He's come off the ground. We'll get Tony to see if there's anything wrong with Zach. But, yeah, I'll tell you what, they're putting pressure on North Launceston. And Will Gibson, always too critical, but he probably should have taken that mark at half forward. He got both hands to it.
He did everything but hold it, I think, in the end. And
that would have been a shot on goal, 35 out.
Yeah, it was just a late spoil came in that basically set that play up.
Springboard the other way. And at 2-3-15, plays 1-1-7. City Park Radio, 103.7 and 96.5. And the AFL Tas live stream. From the middle, Stingle gets the footy 40 towards Nash. Bad bounce. Running into trouble there was Ship. Players going in left, right and centre. Getting up holding his head there was Jacob Boyd. No free kicks. So umpire Ollie Pye throws it up. Out now, towards Bo Nash. He's got a bit of space. Spearing pass. Well done by the Launceston defence. Ship back to Pfeiffer, who's in a bit of trouble. Back now to Noah Hedger. His handball towards Ben Hyatt. Now to Jeffries. They did that pretty well. Kick smothered, but Launceston will be happy with that. They worked it out of their defensive 50 nicely.
Well, even with the conditions as they are, like the ball handling's been quite positive from both sides. Capacity to use handball, overhead marks.
If we don't get any more rain, the conditions will only get better as some of that surface water sinks in. So a few clouds around. So Atkins and Morris, the 2 injury slight concerns, are okay according to Tony Webb. Thanks, Tony. From the boundary throw-in. Spills to the front. Wheeler overruns it. Tina McCormack gets himself a bit of space. Handball on the bounce there to Polferman. Torpedo towards half forward. Gets ground. I think they'll be happy with the out of bounds. The old running torpedo still got its place.
And I think the advantage there is that there does seem to be that space over the top. It's almost like the Pagans Paddock sort of scenario where all the players are pushing up. So if you can get it over the back, Launceston's probably backing their leg speed.
Now, Jake Hines playing coach this year down. Who are his bench assistants?
Kane Sanders would probably be, I think, the main bench assistant that he's got. So, and Kane's been around the footy for a long time.
So from the boundary throw-in, going to get a secondary ball up. And ball emerges, though. Got Shea going in. His handball smothered. Tina McCormack can't get an effective possession. Umpire lets it go. Comes out again, but eventually goes out of bounds. An insufficient intent is asked for, but not given. It's Kane Sanders, and the wonderful video that Rick Fontaine's put together.
Yeah.
I've seen part 1 of the Launceston Footy Club.
Yes.
If you get online, even if you're not a fan of the Lonnie Footy Club, there's a lot of history there, isn't there?
Well, 150 years, so, the oldest continuous football club in Tasmania. So, so they had a really great function last week, the gala function celebrating the 150 years. So, and that coincided with the launch of the video series. So,
congratulations, Rick and his team. He's done a number of clubs now with those that same sort of focus. I think it's a terrific thing.
Yeah.
Because you've got to interview some of these people before they're with us no longer, don't you?
Correct.
Especially the older ones.
I would say I actually worked with Rick with some of this, obviously through my involvement with Launceston, and was able to find some old Super 8 movies that my dad had taken and gave them to Rick to use. So,
get on and have a look at that video. It's well worth it. As Lee now goes in, he's met there by Oliver Atkins and pushed off the contest. Bo Nash got a high tackle on the follow-up, so he'll take a free kick. 2-3-15. The Blues. Bombers at 1-1-7. 24 minutes gone. Tough first quarter. Skills been pretty good under the conditions. Bo Nash towards half forward, leading out as big again as he nearly takes it on the second grab. Little interesting handball there from Tyrrell. Ends up back now with Pfeiffer. Jaden Hines, who's been busy, kicks it out of bounds on the full.
I noticed Archie Wilkinson's on the bench at the moment, so he's just come for a rotation, and Theo Ives has come with him, and Archie's just gone back on, and Theo's
Theo.
So I think they're quite mindful of that matchup.
Sam Simpson with a free kick from the out of bounds on the full. Funny old kick in towards the forward line. Could be a bit of a chaos ball here. Jake Nash pushes it sideways. Kick off the ground by Tyrrell. Ben Hyatt there to Palfreyman. Now Oliver Atkins. Not a bad handball out of defence there to Wheeler. Have to kick it straight away. Does. Up the wing. Lee taps it. Wilkinson grabs it. Good tackle there by Fletcher Bennett. Finn Price fumble. A lot of fumbling going on just in this little passage of play.
That's probably the wettest part of the ground, I think, down there. I think Tony sort of said earlier in his review of the conditions that was probably the worst of it. So, yeah.
Had 4 games here today. Some of those scores in a moment. There's Bo Nash. Lays on top of it. No free kick, says the umpire. Started with the under-18s where Old Scotch 13-27-105 defeated North Launceston 1-4-10. In the reserves, it was Launceston 11-8, defeating North Launceston 3-4. As a kick off the ground there from Palfreyman. Gets its way towards Jake Hines. And a battle there with Fletcher Bennett. Hines did okay. Kicks it towards full forward. Morris comes out. Grabbed it. Dispossessed. Conway, the flying shot for goal. Not bad, but just to the left. And that's the 4th behind for Launceston. 2-4-16. North Launceston 1-1-7. And, the women's game. I'll write that score down. 7-13-55, Launceston, North Launceston 1-3-9. Ball's in the centre of the ground now with Stingle. He kicks long towards Aganis, over the back. Ball taken there by Hedger. Did all right, the young man. Got a handball to a bit of space, but in the follow-up, Stingle. Back to the dangerous Leary from 40 out. Standing start. It's marked by Hines. Just a millimetre inside the boundary line. Jake Hines, big first quarter. Darren.
Yes, he certainly has.
Well, the centering kick is good to Tyrrell. Did he take the mark? Only just. Brave kick from Pfeiffer. In fact, it was Jacob Boyd with the kick. Now, that's going to be 50. Was that for the knock out of the hands?
I'm suggesting it was a late, but,
Just a bit of late contact there on the marking contest. So, Tyrrell from the centre circles. Kicks long. A lot of targets there. Conway, did he pay it? No. Fletcher Bennett handballs it straight to the opposition. And we'll get a ball up, I reckon, 30 metres out from Launceston's goal.
Almost identical to the Will Gibson one there. If Ethan Conway had actually held that ball.
What about the bravery of the kick from Jacob Boyd to Tyrrell?
There seems to be a real focus around that 45 into the corridor.
Yes. Dylan Farquhar into the ball, takes a chest mark. He's 2 kicks out from goal. Pretty crowded 50 ahead of him. He still pumps it in and just kicks it straight to his fellow ruckman in Lee, who was set up beautifully there. Probably needed to lower the eyes a bit there, Dylan Farquhar.
Yeah. Either that or take territory and go over the top of the
Yes. There's a little bit of adrenaline running there. Lee now. Massive kick. Could bring rain. Pfeiffer front position. Thumps it away. Gillow on the follow-up. Good tackle on him. And Avent gets tackled. We'll get a ball up. 27, nearly 28 minutes gone. Intriguing first quarter. Launceston have had the better of play. Grooves' stats will be interesting there at quarter time. Out comes Pfeiffer. Through the wet puddle there on the wing. Beautiful kick inside 50. Getting there though was Ives. He kicks it off the ground. Over the top, Kerr. Only as far as Wilkinson, who has to stop and prop. Kick in towards goal. I think that's Wheeler. The goal square off hands. 1 behind. 2-5-17 to 1-1-7. Play on straight away from fullback through Lockie Mitchell. Up here in the Pitt direction over him. He gets it again, Dom Pitt. Great call there. Sideways handball. Ryder Bug. Inside 50. Oh, Leary almost took a spectacular mark. Ball hits the deck. Well, handball from Avent. Kick back here from Bailey Mitchell. Off the chest there of Tyrrell. Declan Chugger's lurking, but calm play there from Jaden Hines. Gets it away to Boyd. Gee, that back line's been working well. Boyd, excellent kick. Finds Ben Hyatt. Here's a runner on the far side. Connects with him. Kick towards half forward. Offhand to Wheeler. Sirens in the background as Wilkinson swings towards goal. They've got a couple of targets there, but doing a good job in getting back there was Smedley. Isaac Smedley. He's just been on the edge of the Devils squad, Darren.
Yeah, so I think he's had a couple of games this year.
Yep.
Oh,
not a great kick. Pulls here towards Atkins. Can he pick it up? Pressure from behind. That's Finn Price with a sideways handball. Stingle dives in. And the umpire says, "I'll ball it up."
Just one thing I've sort of noticed, Dave, like ball in North's forward line, Launceston's back line, that Launceston really have held their width and been able to really transition and switch fairly easily to clear their defensive half.
And just that back line back there, Boyd, Tyrrell, Jaden Hines, Seth Pfeiffer, almost impassable.
Yeah.
So that one early goal from Husband, they've really not worried the goal face since. Here's Jeffrey Hyatt, who gets the handball sideways to Boyd, who wanted up from the back line. Siren sounds. I don't think it'll be a score. No, it won't. So it's quarter time here at UTAS Stadium. And at quarter time, it's the Blues 2-5-17, leading North Launceston 1-1-7. Goal kickers for Launceston, Jake Hines and Jesse Price. And the goal scorer for North Launceston is Sam Husband. Dave Gruber, your stats.
Hit-outs to quarter time. North Launceston 15 to Launceston 8. Clearances, North Launceston 10, Launceston 8. Inside 50s, 7 for North Launceston and 17 for Launceston. Marks inside 50, 1 each. Intercept marks, 3 each. And free kicks, North Launceston have got 7 and Launceston have had 8.
Okay, Giddy, so looking at that 17-7, would the Launceston camp, Jake Hines, the coaching staff, be a little bit disappointed, or would they be happy with that quarter?
Look, I think they'd be reasonably happy. I think the only thing that probably they'd be disappointed about is just their conversion.
That's right.
I think if you get to the stage, you've got the amount of inside 50s that they've had, you want to capitalise. So look, if you turn that scoreboard around and make it 5-2, then all of a sudden it's probably a totally different ball game. So. Yeah, but look, a positive start from both sides, I think. Just feeling their way through the conditions.
Now, we mentioned the call, but for those who just joined us, you talked about during the quarter Launceston's style of play, direct.
Yep.
Not fearless, that's the wrong word, but brave.
Yep.
And trying to get the ball into the forward line as quickly as possible.
I think they certainly, we saw sort of that in the latter part of the game now. I don't know whether that's structure or not, that they actually go wide and sort of maintain possession. But certainly in their middle part of the quarter, anything taken in their back half, they looked at 45 on the 45 into the centre half forward area, centre half back area.
And you back your skills in, don't you, when you're looking for that?
You have to there. Look,
yep.
it can be high return, but it can be high risk as well. Because
Absolutely.
a turnover and you're basically opposition's having a shot on goal. So
both back lines have been good.
Yep.
I think especially the Launceston back line being in front, of course, but they've got some experience back there and some unheralded players as well, likes of Ship and Hedger, and they've contributed as well.
Yeah. I think I did umpire a game early this year under 18s, and Noah Hedger was playing as a key back, and certainly played a really good brand of footy. So great to see him get his opportunity to come into the senior type side.
We'll take a break here on City Park Radio and get some messages from our sponsors. It's quarter time, and this quarter time break is brought to you by our sponsor, Brew Coffee Hut. Thanks to Darren Lovell and Damien Donnelly. The Launceston Stats boys have emailed me the quarter-time stats for Launceston. Of course, we've only got the access to the individual players there for the Blues. And no surprise, Jake Hines with 9 possessions in that first quarter. And also 2 marks, 8 kicks and 1 handball. Jaden Hines had a big first quarter as well. 7 possessions. Ben Hyatt flashed in and out there with the 6 possessions. Jacob Boyd 6, Angus Jeffrey 6, Brody Polframan 6, and Bailey Gillow 5. Seth 5 for 5. So some of those midfielders have had a little bit of the footy, but we talked about Jake and Jaden Hines having really good quarters.
Yeah, certainly. And I think if you look behind the ball where you've got Jaden Hines and Jacob Boyd, certainly gave Launceston a lot of opportunity out of their back half.
So we've got Tony Webb down there in the boundary, who's been to have a listen there to Adrian Smith. What were his thoughts at quarter time, Tony?
Quite interesting. He says that they really lack an intensity. They're not quite switched on, so he wants more intensity from the whole team. He's a bit disappointed with the work rate of the forwards, though. Feels they're not locking it in. And to a degree, he feels, Jacob Kerr in one of the midfield groups said they're defending chaos. We've got to be aware of Launceston getting the ball over the back, and the backs have got to be a bit more awake to it. Basically more intensity. He feels they're not really playing their way, and he wants them to spread a bit more when they're going forward into offence, and make Launceston work a bit harder.
Okay, thank you, Tony. No injury concerns you can see at quarter time?
No, not really. I don't know what the issue was with Zach Morris. He was okay. Oliver Atkins had a lot of blood coming out there, but they eventually got that stopped. Other than that, nothing to report.
And no precipitation still?
No, she's looking a little bit grey downriver, but I don't think that's Ray growing.
Thank you very much, Tony. No. Tony Webb, our boundary rider there for City Park Radio. You're listening to 103.7 and 96.5 and via the AFL Tas live stream. Big day of footy here in northern Tasmania. You get some other scores as the afternoon goes on. Out it comes now to Polframan. Handball there. Couldn't quite find the target. Is that a jumper change? Number 5. I've got a feeling that might be Oliver Atkins.
It's Ollie Atkins, I would suggested in 5 now, yeah.
It was Lucas Wooten's number when he was playing for the Blues.
Yes.
So that blood might have gone on the Guernsey there. So over the back here towards Jake Hines, who taps it, but only as far as Leary, who spins out. Gets it back here towards Dom Pitt. They're going backwards though, North Launceston. He just decides to swing it towards goal. Plenty of Blues defenders back there. They have the numbers. Falls to front though to Leary. He can't pick it up. It was a scrappy passage of play where Sam Hasselman caught one as he went in to get the footy. He's okay though. And eventually we've got a holding the ball decision there against Launceston, against North Launceston, against Jackie Avent, and Tina McCormack with the footy.
I think Brandon Leary might have just got an accidental head clash there. He was standing behind, holding his head, jaw.
Okay. One of those days with the slippery footy, these things can happen. Bailey Gillow getting up a bit gingerly, as is Declan Chugg. Everyone seems okay. So Tina McCormack kicks to the wing. Nice kick. Front position Wilkinson. 1, 2, 3 grabs. That's a mark.
Yeah, good grab.
Very impressive mark from Archie Wilkinson. He's right up the ground though. Plays on quickly. Looks for Hines. Lovely kick. Hines marks. 2 kicks out from goal. Leans back. Long kick towards the Morris direction. But in the front there doing well was Lockie Shea. Knocks the ball out of play.
I think Jake was trying to get that to Jess Buller. He'd sort of really work back to provide an option there.
So the boundary thrown's about 20 metres around from the right behind post with Launceston in attack. It's Wilkinson and Lee this time. Lee with the front position. Slaps it towards the boundary line. Polframan gets there. Kicks it just inside the boundary line. Gee, that would have been the goal of the year just about from Polframan. It's thumped through right on the line for a behind from Lockie Mitchell. 2-6-18 the Blues. 1-1-7 North Launceston. So Lockie Mitchell goes the direct route into the centre square. Players converge on the ball. Tyrrell got there first. Handball intercepted by Pitt. Kicks along the ground up here towards Declan Chugg. Wins the contest. Gets away from Pfeiffer. Declan Chugg for goal. That is an absolute beauty. Great goal, Declan Chugg. He won the one-on-one battle right on the attacking 50. And he backed himself to kick the goal. That's a valuable goal for the Bombers. They're 2-1-13. Launceston 2-6-18.
great passage of play there. Their transition out of their back half. Look, I think that one-on-one contest, ball gets out the back and Declan Chugg swooped on it.
And it started there probably with Lockie Mitchell, who decided not to go to the wings.
Yep.
Went straight up the middle.
Yeah.
And it was a quick transference of play. Ended up with a goal to Declan Chugg. And against the run of play, it has to be said, pretty valuable. Tony, we've got something for you down on the boundary there.
Just towards the end of the quarter-time huddle, Brandon Leary was getting his upper left thigh strapped. There was already strapping there, so I'm not sure if there's an issue there. I'll keep an eye on it.
Thank you, Tony. From the start of play again in the centre of the ground, Bailey Gillow's got it, working hard. Wrestled to a standstill. The secondary ball up. Is that North's first inside 50 for the quarter groups?
No, North have been in twice.
Once.
Once.
As Jeffries kicks towards half forward. From the spillage, Ben Hyatt weaves his way through, back to Jeffries. Kicks straight away on the left foot. Up here towards Jake Hines. Spoil from behind from Fletcher Bennett. Falls to Oscar Mansell. Backwards now to Lockie Mitchell. Kick close to the boundary line and will bounce over. Right on centre wing. A few patrons over there, Giddy. Yeah, the far side of the ground. Different view over there.
I would suggest yes.
They want some peace and quiet. So I can see 5 people over there in that grandstand. As the Seagulls are circling. A rough day of weather in northern Tassie. But not as bad as down south from what I could see earlier today. From the boundary throw in. Players wrestle for the footy. Get another ball up. Pretty wet up at Youngtown this morning, Darren?
Very, very wet.
And muddy?
I think by the end of the day, I would suggest yes. I think whilst we got the early rain in the game that I umpired, the ground wasn't in real bad condition. A lot of surface water. So
yep. Throw there, says the umpire, against Jack Avent. Coming back to Bailey Gillow. Attacking side of the wing. Up here towards Wilkinson, but in front of him is Jake Hines, who can't take the grab. Good spoil there from Fletcher Bennett.
Interesting there. So even Archie Wilkinson hit up at the footy, and Theo Ives went back to the goal square sort of thing. So they're prepared to let him work up the ground, and Theo's working more back to cover the last line.
From the boundary throw in, front position Farquhar, got a tap. Palfreyman gets it out to Jeffries, who's under pressure with the kick again. Towards Hines from the spoil there. Bennett was good. Teammates caught with a footy, holding the ball.
It's Jack Event, Bailey Gillow on Jack Event again.
Jack Event, he's been caught a few times today. Bailey Gillow. Now, what do we got? Something 50, or is it something that happened downfield?
I think it may have been on Zach Morris. I think,
right.
Is it Lockie Mitchell may have actually grabbed hold of...
Yeah, I didn't see anything happening on the mark that might have incurred a 50-metre penalty.
No, well, I think the ball's going to Zach Morris, isn't it? Or is it...
Oh, no, it might be a 50.
Oh.
Yep, so it is Gillow right in front for goal. Bailey Gillow kicks the third goal for Launceston. Stretches their lead out once again, 3-6-24. Leading North Launceston 2-1-13. And valuable answering goal there for the Blues.
Yeah, for sure. It'd be interesting to see. Bailey Gillow seems to be the tackling machine at the moment. So,
yeah, he's laid a few tackles, and poor old Jack Avent has been caught a few times, but getting near the footy, which is important for North Launceston. Yeah, those forward matchups are really interesting. You've got Zach Morris down there, and I think he's got Lockie Mitchell for company. It's quite a few targets when you look at Zach Morris, Ethan Conway, Archie Wilkinson, and Jake Hines, who also
rolls
back.
Forward. Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
Just trying to see where. So, Theo Ives has got Morris at the moment. So, Archie... Oh, no, sorry, he's got...
back on Archie.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
From the ball up. Shark there by Gillow. He's having one of his best games of the year at the moment. Talked about 5 possessions that first quarter, but they were good possessions. Did a lot of tackling work. Half forward now for the Bombers. Thumped away. Avent there again. Little kick to space. Getting back there is Colin McCormack. Nice handball to Ryan Shipp. Just overcooks the kick a little bit. They dive in for the footy. Wheeler in there, laying a tackle, and it'll be a ball up. So umpire Hayden Shepherd with the footy. Throws it up in the gloom now. Light's starting to take effect. Gee, I reckon there's a player tackle without the footy there.
Actually would have thought so.
Ball emerges. Oscar Mansell kicks towards the forward line, but dropping back again is Jaden Hines. Invited now to play on. Goes wide here looking for Conor McCormack, who leads out and takes a mark on his chest. Conor McCormack with a chip kick. It's going to be good to Dylan Farquhar. He approached the ball with purpose and took a strong mark on his chest. Farks is the call. We're not swearing. That's his nickname. And the blue boots, Dylan Farquhar. Lots of North Launceston players there to thump it away. Alex Lee in particular. Loose footy. Lee lays a tacket on Wheeler. And Wheeler gets a high free kick. So Joseph Wheeler. Jacob Wheeler, I beg your pardon. Takes the free kick out now to Conor McCormack. Handball over the top. Ben Hyatt long to the goal square. Zach Morris gets separation and takes the mark on his chest. Just used his body nicely there to edge young Smedley out of the way. And once he got that little bit of separation, it was never in doubt Darren Gidd.
You could sort of just see he was protecting the drop zone.
Yep.
So he basically held that position and pushed off Smedley just to basically take a quite an easy chest mark in the end.
And the kick is crucial in that situation. And Ben Hyatt just kicked it to advantage as well. So he should convert here. 20 metres out directly in front. Zach Morris. Umpire works a little bit. He snuck it in though. Goal to Morris. Their second goal in a row. Game high margin now. 17 points here at UTAS Stadium. 4-6-30. Plays 2-1-13. Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas for your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone. Okay, 4-1 this quarter though. So it might be the question mark, but they've all been there for mine. It's from the ball up, Lee with the tap, Palfreyman just handballs it to space, but Bonash is there. His handball to the advantage of Dom Pitt. He has time to pick it up. He does so now. Handball not effective. Straight to Jake Hines. Kicks it straight away. There's that quick footy again, Darren, as comes out now here towards Ryder Bug. On the left foot, lovely kick, Ryder Bug. Elite skills. Jack Avent to Pitt. Pitt has a man all by himself. I reckon that's Oscar Mansell. I get the glasses up. No, it's Jack Avent. Or is it the husband? I'll get it right the third time. So after he turns around.
Zach Martin, I think it is.
It is too. The number 35, Zach Martin. Now, it's the first time I've called him. So, in the right place at the right time, Zach Martin. He's going to kick from about 45 out. Has he got the journey? Yes, he has. Zach Martin has delivered a goal for North Launceston. 3-1-19. Launceston 4-6-30. So good footy there from the Bombers. And Zach Martin just found himself a little bit of space there. Smart play. First involvement for the game, I reckon, Darren, is a goal.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. No, and a good finish too from that far out.
So he just got a feeling it's that arm wrestle time of the game.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think what we've seen sort of so far is sides take their opportunities. So it's the side that can actually create the opportunities in the second part of this half.
So nearly 5 o'clock here in northern Tasmania. Day's just starting to lengthen out a bit as we get towards August. There's a few finals in the air once we get to August. That'll be next week. From the ball up. Beautiful play from Stingle. Now to Pitt, who's working himself into this game. Towards the half-forward line. Gibson couldn't take it with him. He goes back and fights for it again, Will Gibson. Shovels it out the back. Loose footy. That was Boyd with a quick kick out of defence. Stingle gets to the ball first. Sums up his options and kicks towards half-forward. Oh, that's a lovely mark, Bonash. Reined it in there with one hand. Plays on immediately to the goal square. Agannison a one-on-one there with Tina McCormack. From the front, torpedo from Jake Hines. Straight down the throat, though, of Simpson, who marks 60 out. He goes long once again. Gannis is there with a lot of Blues defenders. Gibson to Leary. Oh, lovely spin, Brandon Leary. Snap and goal. That is superb. Brandon Leary. The presence of mind to do the turn and then snapped it towards the Invermay Park end. And that's 2 in a row now for North Launceston. 4-1-25. Launceston 4-6-30. How was that from Brandon Leary?
beautifully roved, wasn't it? Sort of off the front of the pack and snapped early. So Brandon doesn't need too many opportunities to hit the scoreboard.
Yeah, you watch on the replay there. He just bounced off his opponent eloquently and then snapped it. Give him half a chance in that range. He'll make you pay. Yeah, so Northland, just we thought they might have been fading out of the game, Darren. Those 2 quick goals, and they're right back in it. It's a 5-point margin.
Oh, look, I don't think you could ever write North off as far as, basically they create their opportunities and they'll take them. Next
stoppage, Grooves. We're going to get some stats from you. In this second quarter, 13 minutes gone. Here's Don Pitt again. He just gets it inside 50 towards Gibson, dives on it. There's Leary again. Jaden Hines, what a matchup that is. Now, Leary stopped short there. I wonder if there's something wrong. He was in the contest with Leary and he just didn't continue. Threw his head back. We'll keep an eye on that. Now, Farquhar from the wing towards half forward. Mark taken there. Intercept mark by Fletcher Bennett. Now, Leary is coming to the bench. There's a story in this game and maybe this season. Player slip over. Jess Buller. It's the handball back to Boyd. Now to Wilkinson. Has to stop and prop. Kick to half forward. Mark taken there by Jesse Price. Plays on. Leading player, Jake Hines. Can't quite take the footy, but he got his arm chopped by Lockie Mitchell. So that'll be a free kick to Jake Hines. And he has a chance to become the game's first
and 50.
Multiple goal kicker and 50, which will make a certainty of it. So a little turn in this game with the injury to Leary. And now a certain goal to Jake Hines. What was the 54 down? I took my eyes off.
I think there was a descent
yep.
from Mitchell on the mark. So
Jake Hines is having a little game there with the North Lonnie defenders, but he kicks the goal. That's his second. And 5-6, 36 to 4-1, 25. A little bit of a goal fest in this quarter, Dan. We've had 6 goals.
It has opened up, hasn't it? Yeah. I would suggest, I'm sure Tony might be able to tell us, but I would suggest that Leary may be done.
Yeah, I didn't like the way he was going in the contest there with Hines, and he just stopped.
Sort of, it looked like that hamstring sort of scenario, didn't it? Really.
Yep. So we'll get an update there from Tony if he can, just to see what's going on. Great game of footy here now. You're enjoying it here on City Park Radio 103.7 and 96.5 and via the AFL TAS live stream on YouTube. Dave Moore, Dave Gruber, Darren Geard and Tony Webb with Hamid on the camera. That's our team this afternoon. Chris Ball back in the studio for City Park Radio. Here's Jess Bull, who slips over about 3 times. Eventually gets a handball away. Chance here for the Blues again to kick inside 50. Shallow entry. Off hands. Simpson's got it. Kick straight away up the wing. In the direction of Jacob Kerr. Seth Pfeiffer's there. They do battle. Pfeiffer off the ground towards the boundary. Nicely to the advantage of Jess Buller, who gets space. Now there's a free kick on the back play. And it was against Pfeiffer. And now Pfeiffer's in a little to-do with Jacob Kerr. Free kick's coming back to Jacob Kerr.
Launceston are away there with Buller picking the ball up. And
just a bit of holding off the contest?
Yeah, I think it was a high contact but off the contest.
Jacob Kerr a bit undecided here. His eyes are darting inside. He settles back for a longer kick. Up here in the Lee direction. Goes over the back of him. Declan Chugg can't quite take the mark. Quick kick inside 50. Aganis leads out. Evades him. Here's a chance for Pitt. Handball sideways to Gibson. Will Gibson snap? It's good. Sneaks it inside the left goal post. And a nice goal there from Will Gibson. And it's goal for goal here at the moment at UTAS Stadium. And he's been kicking a lot of goals during the season in the twos. He's got his chance in the seniors, and a smart goal there from Will Gibson.
Yeah, just very opportunistic, wasn't it? At the front of the contest, picked it up, snapped trolley.
I'll tell you, he's been influential this quarter. He came back to North Launceston. He got injury straight away. I think a shoulder injury. But Don Pitt this quarter has really lifted.
Yeah, look, I think out of the middle. I think Alex Lee's giving him the first use out of the middle. So. With the 6-6 setup, you get it out, win it out of the middle, and it's hard to defend at times.
Group some stats.
Clearances, North Launceston 4 to Launceston 6. Inside 50s, North Launceston have been in 9 times this quarter to Launceston's 5. Marks inside 50, Launceston have taken 2 to North Launceston's 1 this quarter.
Okay, it's Lee with the big clearance, as he often does. Bouncing footy. Will this go right through for a goal? They're going to get back there first. Jaden Hines sees it through for a behind. 5-2-32 to 5-6-36. So we only had the 3 goals at quarter time. 7 goals kicked, and we're still only at the 18-minute mark. It could be a longish quarter, this one. Anthony Loon joining us at half-time. Next stoppage, we're going to get down to Tony, who's got a report on the boundary line. As Jaden Hines kicks long. Conway leads out. Oh, I thought he took that mark, but just couldn't quite grab a hold of it. Coach a poke in the eye there, I think, Ethan Conway. Going to get a ball up. Just wait, Tony, because we might get a forward entry out of this. Wait and see. Lee with the thump. Bo Nash, just a little bit quiet on his usual output. Tony, we'll get to you now.
Yeah, it is the right thigh for Brandon Leary. He sort of came off. He's just going to sit down straight away. And trainers talked to him. They're not doing anything. I reckon they're waiting until half-time to make a decision.
Thank you, Tony. Ice back appears, let us know. As it goes towards the forward line now for North Launceston. Contested footy. Oh, that's a Blues defender. Is he caught red-handed? He is. Can't quite see who it is until he gets onto his feet. Tina McCormack. Caught holding the ball. Just had that prior opportunity. And the ball is in the hands of Jack Avent. Right in front of goal. And after all that dominance that Launceston had early in this quarter, this would put the Bombers in front. What a response.
Yeah.
Won't count our chickens yet, though. These sort of wet days, slippery ball, anything can happen. The man of Avent's experience is just 20 metres out, directly in front, Invermay Park end. And he has kicked the goal for North Launceston. And they're back in front at UTAS Stadium, 6-2-38 to 5-6-36. First goal of the day to Jack Avent. And gee, haven't the Bombers responded?
Oh, yeah, they have. It's so what have they kicked? They've 1, 2, 3. They've kicked the 5 goals this quarter. So and it's sort of come in rapid succession.
Yep.
So how far are we into the quarter? So it's probably still got another 10 minutes. So it's probably too early for Launceston to sort of say, well, we'll shut up shop and limit damage. So it'd be interesting to see how they react to this.
I think they kicked 3 of the last 4, if I got my facts right there. But they've certainly the margin got out a little bit there. But it's a great game of footy. Under lights here at UTAS Stadium. So the wind has dropped. There's no rain. Still a bit slippery. Got a high tackle there. From the ball up is Bo Nash. Chance for another inside 50. As Dave Gruber said, they've had 11 at this quarter. Dodges around. Up towards full forward. In the front there was Tyrrell. Couldn't quite take the grab. We're going to get a ball up. 45 out. From the Bombers' goal. City Park Radio next week at Scottsdale, our debut, another venue for us. Scottsdale and Deloraine from 2 p.m. From the ball up, Polfreeman gets it to the wing. Conway picks the footy up, tackled by Smedley. Lockie Shea, his kick smothered. Couldn't escape there, the Launceston player. Well, he got a high tackle, did he? That's Jesse Price. Hard physical game of footy. Jesse Price. He's got Ryan Shipp who comes around behind him, but he decides to go the kick instead. Wilkinson front position. Good thump by Ives. Now there's holding off the contest. I think it's going the way of Conway. Ethan Conway. Centre wing. Low pass. There towards Hyde, who's pushed from behind. Pushing the back, says the umpire. Get to Tony again in a moment. Hyatt. Little chip kick. Finds a target. And that target is Bailey Gillow. He's on the right side for a left footer. Oh, it's 50 metres. Okay, so not sure what that is for this time. I've got to say.
That's their 4th 50 for the game.
Thanks, Groups. Yeah, Lockie Mitchell there. I don't know whether he crept over the mark, Darren. I've got no idea.
I think it may have been dissent. I'd say,
okay.
Given the closeness of the umpire to the contest, I would suggest probably dissent.
Goal to Bailey Gillow. And that's his second for the day, Darren. You've been keeping track like that?
Second for the quarter.
Second for the quarter. And now the Blues are back in front. 6-6-42 to 6-2-38. 9-goal quarter. 22, nearly 23 minutes gone. So a bit of heat in this contest. And Tony, down to you about Brandon Leary.
Yeah, hi. Bruner's taking the boots off and he's headed into the rooms, so not looking too good for him for the rest of the game.
Okay, and you suspect it's a thigh injury?
Oh, it very definitely is. It was already bandaged, and then they did it again at the quarter-time huddle.
Okay.
And he gave up on that chase, basically. Came straight off, so that's not looking good, and he's pretty upset by the looks of him too.
Thanks, Tony. Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment, because quad injuries are not easy to overcome. Having had one myself back in the day, Dom Pitt kicks towards half forward, and marked tackle there by Tyrrell. Be a ball up. Yeah, thigh injuries can be tricky, Darren.
Yes, yeah. I think
you think you're right.
You would prefer the hamstring, I think, than the quad.
Plenty of time in the season left, though, as Declan Chugg launches for goal. He's going to be slightly offline. He kicked one earlier from distance, one behind. 6-3-39, 6-6-42. 24 minutes gone. So, kick into the centre square. Going to get...
umpires paid a
free kick.
Push there to Jake Hines. The non-controlling umpire there paid that one.
Just telling our special guest where to go at half-time here, so trying to text and commentate at the same time. Bo Nash now with the handball now to Stingle. Stingle over the top. Gets towards Martin, who kicked a goal earlier in the quarter. He shovels it further along. Wet weather footy here at the moment. Bailey Mitchell, who's been quiet, can't get into the contest. Be a ball up. So, group, just give us some stats while I just send this little text message.
Inside 50, North Launceston up to 14 for the quarter. Launceston 6, and clearances even with 7 each this quarter.
Okay, thank you, groups. Gave me time to send that message. Hopefully Anthony can find his way here. Surely someone will tell him where we are. It's out of bounds on the full. Yep. 2 umpires converse there. Umpire Andrew Fitz, we'll mention it again. It's his 3rd game in a row. 2 as boundary umpire and 1 as a central umpire.
It's interesting. There's no breeze that I can see out there yet. We've got inside 50s weighted to one end.
There's a tackle there for front on by Jake Hines. No free kick, so we'll get another ball up. Bit hard to see in the gloom, so the binoculars are on. Handball over the top here to Hyatt. His handball goes straight to Bo Nash. And now we've got, so I think it was out of bounds. So boundary throw in on the railway wing. 6-3-39 North Launceston, 6-6-42. There's the boundary umpire about to throw it back into play. It's Tina McCormack, who's spent some time in the ruck a couple of seasons back before settling in defence. He's up against Lee. Lee gets it, but straight to Gillow. Measures the handball over the top to Jeffries on the left foot. Kick inside 50. Front position Morris. Well done there to Lockie Mitchell with the spoil. It's all the Bombers now with the numbers. Fletcher Bennett. Oh, the kick smothered there nicely. Good forward line pressure from Ben Hyatt. And it's out of bounds. One thing coaches like is forward line pressure.
If it's in there, you want to keep it in there.
Absolutely. So deep in attack here for Launceston. 27 minutes gone. 6 goals apiece. Beautiful sight here at UTAS Stadium. Surface holding up okay. All the rain that we've had in the last 24 hours. Lee now gets it towards Hyde, who's tackled from behind, out of bounds. So stay with us in the second half, folks. It's going to be a great game of footy. Don't forget Anthony Loon, if he can find us. He'll be here at half-time. I'm sure he will. Boundary throw in 40 metres around from the left behind post. Blues in attack. Bombers with the majority of the inside 50 entries in this quarter. They fought their way back into this game. But the Blues lead by the 3 points heading into half-time. Out comes Dingle. Handballs it straight, though, towards Jeffries. He coughs it up. We've seen a lot of handballs today to players under pressure. Right a bug. Forcing it forward. Players dive on the ball. An ugly passage of play into what's been a fairly open contest so far.
Yeah. just makes you wonder whether the message has gone out just to really try and lock it down and restrict any further scoring opportunities from both sides.
Ice pack on Brandon Leary's thigh now. Thank you, Tony. So that could be a 4 to 5 week injury. But they'll need him back for the finals. Tackle there was Polfram and he released the footy. Tina McCormack launches it towards goal. Morris front position. Oh, Wilkinson takes a good mark. So held his ground nicely in front of Ives. Ives not happy. He might have thought there was a hand in on it. But Wilkinson claimed the mark and has been paid. So pretty important shot on goal late in this second quarter. The Blues lead by 3. Wilkinson snaps and he's kicked it. His first goal for this evening. Archie Wilkinson, that's his 39th goal for the year. And the lead just lengthens out a little bit more. 7-6-48 Launceston. North Launceston 6-3-39. 29 minutes gone, Darren Geard.
5 goals apiece this quarter sort of thing. So North really got that run on and Launceston have responded at the back half of this quarter.
We've had, 10 goals this quarter. So we could go 32, 33 minutes. Yeah. Great game of footy. And 2 pretty evenly matched sides from what we can see today. Gribbs, inside 50 update, please.
14 for North Launceston and 8 for Launceston.
Okay. So umpire Hayden Shepherd has it in his hands. He throws the footy up. Lee with the tap. Gets it to Bonash. Back to Lee. Kicks it straight away. Gets an inside 50 entry. Spoiled there from Pfeiffer. In the puddle of water, Bailey Mitchell works it out now. It's with Jack Avent. Slightly fumbles there with his slippery ball. It's in the forward pocket, right underneath the scoreboard, which is shining brightly now here. UTAS Stadium will get a stoppage.
This is that play where they really miss Leary.
Yes.
That ground ball inside forward 50.
You can just do that magical thing from this sort of scenario. So without Leary and Cox-Goodger now, Cox-Goodger suspended for this game. Jaden Hines back to Gillow. Handball to the boundary line. Swinging kick there from Atkins. But it lies straight to the Bombers. Kick inside 50. Onto the chest there of Jacob Boyd, who says, boys, it's 30 minutes gone. We've got the lead. Let's just settle it down. Goes sideways. The long sleeves of Ryan Shipp. Left back pocket. Now, not rushing this at all at the moment, Launceston. Kick up to Polframan's good from Shipp. Polframan, defensive side of the wing. He also holds the ball for a long time. Invited now to play on. Mark taken there by Morris, I beg your pardon. So Zach Morris on centre wing. Can move it quickly. It's a very open 50. Off hands there of Lockie Mitchell. Oh, it falls in the lap there of Jesse Price. He swings for goal. Which way will it bounce? It's out of bounds. Just near the right behind post. The 9-point margin. 31 minutes gone. Launceston deep in attack. Don't forget, at half-time, we're catching up with Anthony Loon from the 1995 North Launceston Premiership team. Defeated Clarence in a famous grand final. They've got their reunion on today. We thank him for coming and having a chat to us in advance. Connor McCormack dives on the ball. Fletcher Bennett sees it over the boundary line. So another boundary throw in. Still 20 metres around from the right behind post. Time clock clicks over 32 minutes. Lee wins a tap against Farquhar. Picking up is Farquhar. Little spin. Handball to space. Ryder Bugs there. Off the ground by Fletcher Bennett. Jacob Kerr. Great handball to Theo Ives. Over the top now to Sam Husband. Husband has a little bit of break on his opponent. Takes a bounce. Zach Morris approaches. He kicks it nicely here towards Bailey Mitchell. I love the confidence there of Husband. Bailey Mitchell gets it back to Husband. In the forward pocket. He snaps. Oh, terrific individual effort by Sam Husband. What a great effort from a young player making his way in senior footy. And he set that up with a daring run. He had Zach Morris on his tail. He took a bounce. He kicked it beautifully to Bailey Mitchell. Got the handball back and finished with style.
That was electric.
It was, wasn't
that
it?
was really good.
Just the confidence of the young man.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't rush that kick. He knew that he had a little bit of pace to get away. And he was up against Zach Morrison. He probably kicked it right at the right moment. He was just about to get collared, but and just the confidence to follow up. That's his second for today. 2 good goals there to Sam Husband, and that will be an entry in Premier League's goal of the week, Darren. No doubt about that.
I would suggest so. That's probably that may be the clubhouse leader without looking at any of the others. But
had some good ones today. So the margin back to 3 points. More importantly now for North Launceston, they're almost going to be even Stevens here at half time as Polfreman, though, kicks it forward for the Blues. Good spoil from Bennett. Spills out to the side. Right a bug with the handball to space. Jack Avent gets there first. He's worried out of it by Bailey Gillow. Diving in is Wheeler. About 5 players dive in. It will be a ball up. So 34 minutes gone. Talk about the length of the quarters in the AFL, but we've had 34 minutes here without any reviews or anything, Darren.
Yes.
Close to the boundary line. Off the ground there, though Stingle, it was probably an error of judgment in the end. So he kicks it out of bounds on the full. Free kick to be taken here by Brody Polfreman. At an 11-goal quarter in these conditions, that's really good footy. Great for the spectators and the viewers and the listeners. Farquhar nearly takes a strong mark. Lee gets to the ground gingerly. Keep an eye on that. Ball escapes. He goes back in, Alex Lee. He's already on the ground. Smedley tackled there by Wilkinson. Ball up. Had a good season, Alex Lee. I don't think he's missed a game this year. Very durable player. Lovely tap there to his teammate in Bo Nash, who gets it to Avent, kicks it up the wing. Front position to Gannis. Spills now to Jaden Hines. Gannis dives in. Nobody can win it free. Gannis working hard, gets it to Gibson, who tries to score a try. The Wallabies are on tonight against the British Irons, the MCG. We've got a boundary throw in, and yes, we've crossed 35 minutes, Darren. How much longer do you think?
Well, it would have to be close.
See if we can get to 36. Polfreman, that might be out of bounds on the full, I reckon. Yes, it is. Just got his toenail to it. Avent, last chance here maybe for a score in this quarter. Funny old kick by Jackie Avent. Oh, Hedger gets back with a bit of courage there. And we get a high tackle. I think it's going to come back to Ryan Shipp. And there it is. Didn't get to 36. It got to 35 minutes and 44 seconds that second quarter. And at half-time, we've got a bit of to-do happening. We'll keep an eye on that one. Players starting to separate. Be a pity it's been played in a pretty good spirit so far. So, at half-time, it's the Blues, 7-6-48, kicking 5 goals, 1 in that quarter, to North Launceston, 7-3-45. And they kicked 6 goals, 2 in that quarter. Pulsating quarter of footy, Darren Gidd.
Certainly was. Sort of ebbed and flowed a bit. North sort of got onto a bit of a run there and kicked a few goals, and then Launceston were able to answer. So, really, really interesting quarter of football.
And the game overall, I mean, looking at the scoreboard, you'd have to say that it's a pretty even contest. That goes without saying. But both teams have had times or periods of supremacy, haven't they?
They have, yeah. And I think it's one that Launceston look back at that first quarter and probably just lacked that opportunity or lacked that capacity to finish and really put some scoreboard pressure on. But as I say, that's a really good solid half of footy. And
midway through that quarter, they had, I wouldn't say on the ropes, but they had a clear advantage there. They got out to 2 to 3 goal advantage.
I think it got out to 17 points.
And North Launceston, we know, the Masters, that they fought back and they're right in this game.
You certainly can't take your foot off the pedal when you're playing North.
Okay, we'll have the stats, then we'll have a break, and we'll have a special guest in a few moments. So, Groobs, what are the stats?
Hit-outs to half-time. North Launceston 41, Launceston 14. It's a big quarter there for Alex Lee, 26 hit-outs to 6. But clearances have been very even for the game, really. It was 11 to 13 that quarter, Launceston's favour, but they're 21 each at half-time. Inside 50s, again, also even to half-time. 25 for North Launceston, 26 for Launceston, but North Launceston had 18 to 9 that quarter. Marks inside 50, to half-time, 3 for North Launceston, 5 for Launceston. Intercept marks, 5 for North Launceston, 4 for Launceston, and free kicks, Launceston have 20 and North Launceston have 13.
12-6 in that quarter, the Blues way, the free kicks. Okay, quickly, the goal kickers at half-time. Jake Hines with 2, Bailey Gillow with 2, 1 each to Zach Morris, Archie Wilkinson and Jesse Price for the Blues. And for North Launceston, 2 to Sam Husband, including a brilliant goal there at the back end of the quarter. 1 each to Brandon Leary, Jack Avent, Declan Chugg, Will Gibson and Zach Martin. Half-time here at UTAS Stadium. Time for a hot coffee or mocha from our sponsor, Brew Coffee Hut. Making hot drinks for you at the game today. You'll find them behind the grandstand. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll talk to Anthony Loon about the 1995 North Launceston Premiership. Back in a moment. Dave Moore, Darren Geard, Dave Gruber and Tony Webb with you on City Park Radio 103.7 and 96.5 and via the AFL TAS live stream. And at half-time, it's a great game of footy. Launceston 7-6-48 leading the Bombers. North Launceston 7-3-45. There's a big function going on at the moment. It's a reunion of the 1995 Premiership, North Launceston versus Clarence. A famous grand final, the Bombers, or the Robins as they were then, getting over the line. And we've got a special guest this afternoon, Mr. Anthony Loon. G'day, mate.
G'day, Dave. How are you?
Not too bad. What do you think of the game so far?
Oh, look, it's been a tussle, and it's great to see competitive footy happening out, in the local scene. There's been a lot of commentary through the course of the year, of course, but it's great to see people out there fighting for every possession, and everything counts like it's the last thing that's going to happen in this world. So it's awesome to see. Can
you believe it's 30 years since you won that premiership?
No, I can't. It's actually getting very scary because when you think of the next 30 where we might be, that's even scarier. So. Yeah, time certainly flies, but one of the great things we've sort of witnessed today and yesterday, a few of us had a game of golf, was just the friendships and camaraderie that just remain so strong, even though many of us haven't seen each other for a little while. But it's just a great group of people.
We're talking during the week how probably the golden years of that iteration of State League footy was probably 1986 when it started, through to about 95 when it started to lose clubs and drop off a little bit. It must be great memories of that era of footy in Tassie.
Oh, it certainly was. I look back at that time of life very fondly. Not only was so much happening in your general life, with family and your work and all those sort of things. It's a formative time. But in terms of football, there were some awesome players. Like every club had a Reece Jones, a Stevie Wright, a Mark Browning, a Darren Denneman, Peter German, Andy Goodwin. Everyone had AFL talent and serious AFL talent at their club, providing leadership and skills and life lessons to the people in the community. It was a great time.
And Darren, you were involved with the Launceston Raiders at that time. We had three northern teams in the league.
Yes, we did. So I wouldn't say that the Raiders were overly successful through that period, but yeah.
But some of those names that Anthony mentioned, you remember
for sure. And I think with the Raiders, you had Peter Chisnell was the first coach, and certainly a famous North Launceston name in Chris Whitford coaching at Launceston as well.
And David Reece Jones was the coach in the 95 team. And was it 3 years at North Launceston?
He did. He came in 93, 94, 95 and then left to got an opportunity to pursue his coaching career at Frankston. So he headed off to
the mainland.
And he was a fairly young coach at that time. What do you remember of his coaching style and philosophy?
Yeah, look, I was fortunate enough to have a few years with Reece, living in Melbourne and playing with him over there. And he had a few injuries, so he spent a bit of time in the twos where I was. And like Reece was always just had a presence on the ground, and look, somewhat you might say of his own doing, but also just the way he went about the game. A lot of players targeted him, and that sort of created opportunities for the other teammates of Reece's to perhaps be free, or to capitalise on the fact that everyone's focus was on this star AFL player with a long list of tribunal appearances, but they were the characters in footy that just made it what it was.
Now, you lost to Clarence in '93. Did you play in that one?
I did play in that one, yeah.
So that must have stung a little bit?
Yeah, it did, and like we felt that we were playing pretty well. It was a cracking day that day, and it suited we had a lot of smaller, sort of fleet-footed, reasonably skilled players, and it probably suited us. So, yeah, we had a pretty good start to the game, and we lost our way a little bit in the third quarter. And Clarence, they had some really good, strong midfielders, the Peter Ritchies, that sort of Stevie Wright was the same, those sort of players, and they just got a roll on, and we couldn't shut them down.
So, into the '95 season, how did the season pan out leading up to the grand final?
So we had a really consistent year, and we were talking a bit about this before, and it's like the connectivity between the playing group grew. I think we only had 25 players played in the seniors that year, which is quite a small number. So we were very fortunate that injury was on our side, but whether it was I always sort of have this memory of Dale and Mark Chugg like being brothers in the team. It was that. Perhaps the nucleus of something bigger that then we all became brothers, if that makes sense. And it was that unity and that, I guess, bond amongst us, and not just us, but also our wives were very close. That was really the glue that held us together. And we didn't play flashy footy. I think we lost one game here against Burnie and through the course of the year, but won every other. And, it was just that resilience and competitiveness that we all had. But just the support of one another, it was pretty unique. It was great.
For our younger listeners and viewers, just name a few of the stars in that. I mean, you could probably name all of them, but some of the big stars of that '95 team.
Well, I mean, Steen Cremer-Scotham was our captain. If he's not still, he certainly was the record games holder, something like that. But Cremer had this real resilience and determination that just we all latched onto. And
he's getting towards the end of his career by this stage?
Oh, no, I think he finished maybe 99, so he still had 3 or 4 years. But he would have been in his early 30s, but still very capable and very skilled and very damaging with his left foot kicking. You had Jason Gibson, played at Hawthorn, that was just so strong. And whilst off the field, Gibbo's a really quiet person, but on the field, he was a competitive beast. We had some people like that. We had Robert Groenewegen. One of my favourite memories was him kicking a goal from the goal square, laying on the ground, which was an awesome achievement. But Wagon was a bit of a surprise selection. We had so many even players, but we all sort of had a role, and we just focused on that, and everybody did whatever it took to win.
And the game itself, how did that pan out quarter by quarter? Were you on top early, or?
Oh no! Look, it was just a grind. It was a bit like tonight in a way. It was really cold. It wasn't super wet, but it was damp and a little bit muddier than what the typical grounds are now. But it was like I just have this memory that when the siren went, of massive relief because it was over. Because I think we only won by 10 points, but it always felt like we were never on top.
Yeah.
And we just had to keep fighting every challenge and. I guess that's what makes it so special for us.
Dan, you got a question there? Or?
Look, with any reunion, obviously you come together beforehand. Disappointed to hear my good mate Chris Hills is not here because this probably would frame my question. Best on votes for the reunion thus far? I think Wagon would have to be there, wouldn't we?
Well, Wagon was actually there until late last night, but I think it's a bit early to go because only a few of us were able to make it yesterday and dinner last night.
Yep.
But tonight might be a different story. So there's a couple of ladies that have actually started out quite strong. So we'll see where that ends up.
Very good. Yeah.
We talked before about those days. Darren, you nominated Boyer as probably the most fearsome venue to go to.
I would suggest so. Yeah.
Boyer was. I remember playing there with the snow on Mount Wellington, and it was cold. But for me, I suppose, and probably the way that I played the game too, was North Hobart was always a challenge because we didn't have the expansive spaces of York Park that we were used to. It was very much a contested footy game at North Hobart, and it was that, I guess, theatre aspect of the tiered seating all around it, in the city feel. It was always a challenge. So we played some pretty good teams there and always found it tough.
I think West Park was always challenging with the conditions, the wind, and it was,
I think Reese might have got himself in a little trouble calling that a primary school oval in the middle of our straight once.
Darwish Wilson, was it?
Yes.
Look, great memories. And, of course, footy's changed between the regional model and the state league model, and it may change again in the future, who knows. But, it's fantastic to see the club still thriving 30 years later, isn't it?
It is, and it all comes down to the volunteers and the people that do so much work behind the scenes to create a team that can run out on the ground and be at their best. And most successful teams have always start with successful administration. So I think hats off to those people that put so much work in behind the scenes and don't really get a lot of recognition.
And it's the last day, isn't it, for the social rooms down there?
Yeah,
you must have some great memories.
Oh, look, just sitting here looking at it, there's one probably quite iconic moment in my memories of that post grand final win. We were in the club rooms there on the second level up, and we'd had a pretty big night that night, and then the next morning Reece Jones was downstairs and they were cooking some eggs and bacon, and he had some eggs, and he took out his dentures, so his front teeth are missing. And I remember quite a lot of us were standing upstairs at this level, and Reece was throwing the eggs up in the air. I remember the first one went way up in the air, up above, high as the second-storey ceiling, came down, missed his head by a metre, I reckon. It was that he was pretty intoxicated. Second time, the egg's gone up, and comes down, and it's landed right on his mouth. And for a few minutes, we weren't quite sure if he was picking out eggshells or teeth. But a thing that will never happen, it'll never be beaten. I reckon Reece will hold the Guinness World Book of Records for that event, the highest egg throw at York Park, I reckon.
Fantastic. And look, after 1995, where did your career go after that?
Well, I actually retired early 97.
Right.
My sort of business career side of things started to be pretty demanding. We had 2 young children. And I guess it was just time to do something different. I've been playing senior footy for a long time. I still remained involved and then sort of came back a number of years later as my own children came through and did some coaching and really enjoyed that. Sort of wish in a way that I had have coached as a much younger person. I learnt so much more about the game having to look at it the way I did. But, I've certainly involved the club as much as I can. We've been long-term sponsors and it's an important part of the community, and we want to play our role in that.
But did your boys play in one of those early grand finals in that big run that the team had?
Yeah, so my son Tom just missed out a selection in 2014, and then that sort of motivated him, and he came out and played in the 2015 Premiership, the one that we probably weren't expected to win.
That was one of the best games of State League footy I ever saw. It was a massive underdog. I'll never forget Brady Holland kicking that goal.
Dutchie Holland,
I think Looney's selling
not Brady Holland, it was...
He's selling himself short here in that he ran a very, very, very successful Auskick program down at Launceston for a number of years, so I was lucky enough that my boys were coming through at the same time, so I had a lot to do with Anthony down there as well.
Yeah, that was good times. Yeah.
Well, mate, the teams are back out inside the umpire, so we're going to get underway very soon. Thank you very much for joining us here on City Park Radio and the AFL Test live stream, and you better get back to the group and have a great night.
Thanks, Dave. I greatly appreciate it. Good work.
Cheers.
No worries.
Thanks,
it's Anthony Loon here on City Park Radio with Dave Moore, Darren Geard, David Gruber, and also Tony Webb. Tony, are you down there somewhere? Have you got a half-time report for us?
Yes, I was in the Launceston rooms. As you can imagine, the vibe was pretty good in there. Jake Hines came on, and just before he started, told them all to take a deep breath. Said this is what it's all about. A couple of points really came out of it. He says that really they should be about 4 goals up, but they had a 5-minute break where they were off the ball a little bit and conceded 4 goals in that time. He feels that they've done 61 tackles that half, aiming for 80, so they've got 120 to make all that up. But he also said basically don't backchat the umpires. There's been a bit of yap going on out there, mostly from the north side. He says, don't say anything to the umpires. Do your normal stuff to the opponent, by all means, but just concentrate more, keep playing your own game. Try not to turn it over. They're doing the one possession, then kick type game, your handball and then kick it. Wants more of that, but he says just be a bit more careful with the delivery of it because we know they're a really good side on transition, so don't give them a chance to do that. But really pleased with how the half's gone. And Brendan Leary is out for the game.
Thank you, Tony. Yeah, we just saw him walk past you there with his tracksuit on. So he's out for this contest. It's a mark that's taken there by Tina McCormack at half-back for Launceston. It's run away. We've got some stats to get through in a moment from our Molly Stats team, Darren Lovell and Damien Donnelly. As kick now comes wide here towards the man in the new Guernsey. That's Atkins. Kick towards half-forward. Nearly a mark taken by Bennett. Off hands, Conway. Handball inside. Nice pick-up, Simpson. Gets a handball away to Bug. Bug kicks under pressure. Mark taken there nicely by Ryan Ship. Ship kicks straight away. Long sweeping kick. Does it nicely. Finds Angus Jeffries. He's got a long lead here from Morris. Can't quite take the mark. Takes the footy now up against the boundary line. Centering kick. Here towards Wilkinson. Can't quite take the footy. Over the top there, the handball ends up with, I think that's Declan Chugg back there, is it? I think it was, in fact, sure. It was Lockie Mitchell, I think, who got the ball away. Kicked out of bounds on the full. It's under the scoreboard. Morris now. Fancy himself here. He's about 55 out on the boundary line. No, now we've got 50 again. Now, what could that possibly have been for?
That would have had to have been descent. There was a bit of a conversation, I think, going on between, I think it's Jacob Kerr on the mark and the umpire. So.
Right, okay. So that's what, Gribbs, is that the fifth one for the day? Sorry, I haven't got your mic on.
Yes, fifth, yeah.
Fifth 50-metre penalty. So from the goal square, Zach Morris will kick a goal for Launceston and lengthen out their lead. That's his second goal for the day. And it's 8-6-54 to 7-3-45. Darren.
Very positive start for Launceston. So, as I say, it's one of those ones, I think, as Jake Hines highlighted, basically don't backchat the umpires. Don't.
I just can't see what he would have backchecked
No,
out. I mean,
no.
It was just, whether he said, he needs to come further round or something like that.
Yeah.
Not sure what the story was there. But anyway, results in a goal to Launceston. And it's 7-3-45 North Launceston 8-6-54. From the middle, Lee with the tap. Gets it to Stingle. Off the ground there by Hines. Towards half forward, taken by Jess Buller. Looks for support with a handball. Gives it now. Bailey Gillow. Spearing kick. Oh, he's got a man all by himself. 20 metres out directly in front, and that's Ben Hyatt. Searching kick there from Gillow. And this could be another goal for Launceston 3 minutes into this quarter. And that's exactly the start they would have wanted. Ben Hyatt shouldn't miss from here. He's a bit of a sharp shooter. And the man on the mark, as I said, 20 metres out directly in front. He's kicking to the Invermay Park end. Ben Hyatt close to the man on the mark. Spears it straight through the middle. The ninth goal for Launceston. They're now 9-6-60, leading North Launceston 7-3-45. And that's Ben Hyatt's first for the afternoon. Nice little work there from Jess Buller, just waited on the handball.
Yeah. And I think there's been times where Jess has actually found space, and he's a good user of the footy, and he's got a really good, for a young fella, he's got a really good footy head around him. I think he's been in the Devils program as well, sort of. Yeah. And I know the Devils have got a game next week, so it'll be interesting to see.
Still young, 16, 17 years of age.
Yeah, very young. Yeah.
So 15-point margin. I think Giddy said 17-point was the.
I think that was
the game high in that second quarter. So it's now out to 15. Bo Nash with the handball over the top, only as far as Atkins, who just torpedoes it towards half forward. Bennett can't quite take the mark. Ryder Bug out of defence. So a lot of kicks just going straight down the middle at the moment. Avent and that last remaining pool of water on the ground gets the handball away. Working well there is Bailey Mitchell up against the boundary line. He's bustled over by Ryan Ship. We'll get a boundary throw in. Tassie Devils tomorrow in Ballarat.
Yes,
Giddy.
yeah.
Big game against the Greater Western Victorian Rebels.
I think we've got that, and then I think we've got the state schoolboys under 15s,
yep,
and girls as well. So that's in Queensland, I think.
Boundary throw-in falls a bit short. Farquhar did okay. Can't get connection, although Jake Hines mops up. It's a kick along the wing there towards Ben Hyatt. Hyatt takes his time, kicked the goal a moment ago. Kicks sideways and finds Jaden Hines. Get some of those stats when we can. No chance yet. Lovely kick by Jaden Hines to Jeffries. Drops the mark, had time to recover. Turnover now. Ends up here with Dom Pitt. It's a lovely kick to Declan Chugg. He takes the ball 48 metres out. Might be a bit too far out to score. There's no discernible breeze this evening. He's settling back for a shot.
Turnover there just cost Launceston, didn't it? It's sort of they had control, and then obviously all their players had broke to run forward, and
Declan Chugg from 50 got the distance all right. Fades away to the right, one behind. 7-4-46 plays 9-6-60. Brody Polfram in the top possession winner for the Blues at half time with 15 possessions, 10 in the second quarter. As the kick comes out from Boyd, does it beautifully. The mark not taken by Conor McCormack. He got contact from behind. High contact. He'll take the free kick. Back end of the centre square. You can switch it here to Jaden Hines, but it's going to be intercepted by Simpson. Got his hands to it. Now it's here with Bailey Mitchell. He's gone! From behind. Great tackle by Oliver Atkins. Free kick to advantage. Here's Bailey Gillow. Kick inside 50 towards Wilkinson. Good spoil there from Ives out of play.
It's Ollie Atkins, I think. Was that run-down tackle there?
It was, mate. Yep. Yeah. He's changed from the number 17 to the number 5 after that blood nose in the first quarter. That's a team-lifting tackle. Bailey Mitchell just wasn't aware that he was going to get pressure from behind. So from the boundary throw in. Good work there from Stingle. Used his body well. Out and out of Pitt. Back to Stingle on the left foot. Kick to the centre of the ground. Husband leading out. Sport from behind by Ship, who has the recovery. It's North Launceston. Jake Nash gets it back there to Bug. Now back to Husband. Kicked an electrifying goal in that second quarter. Beautiful kick. Leading out and marking is Jack Avent. Might be too far out to score. He realises that. So he goes wider and finds Simpson. He takes the mark 45 out. So Polfreeman, 10 possessions in that second quarter, 15 for the game. Jake Hines with 14. Angus Jeffries had a big second quarter. He's got 13 possessions to half-time. Jaden Hines with 12. Ben Hyatt with 11. Jacob Boyd with 11. Bailey Gillow with 10. The top possession winners for Launceston till half-time. Steam coming out of the mouth of Sam Simpson. The humid air here at UTAS Stadium. Simpson for goal. It is just the wrong side of the right right goal post. So second behind in a row there for North Launceston. 7-5-47, 9-6-60. Inside 50 this quarter, Dave Gruber.
4 for Launceston, and North Launceston have just been in 3 times.
Okay. Jacob Boyd once again going centrally down the ground. We've got a free kick. It's going North Launceston's way. Paul Hayden Shepherd saw something off the contest. So it's going to the way of the Bombers. Stingle has the footy. Looking for a target. They fly high. Good spoil from behind by Jacob Boyd. From the front of the contest. Husband again working hard. He dives in, lays a tackle. Footy comes back again to Jacob Boyd. He wastes no time. He just pumps it up to the wing. 3-on-1 there with North Launceston have the numerical advantage. Out here towards Ives. Up against the boundary line. He's tackled by 2 Blues. Close to the boundary line. Ball is over. Interesting time in the game, Darren.
Yes, it's sort of seesawing the start of this quarter sort of thing. So just sort of waiting to see if one of the teams can actually assert a bit of authority.
So the boundary throw in. Get to some scores from the Division 1 in a moment. Over the top. Chug now to Bo Nash. Ducks back inside. Little chip kick to Jake Nash. Brothers combine. Launches on goal. Plenty of Blues back here. Almost a mark there to Gibson. He went hard at the footy. Lays the tackle. Back now to Atkins. Slung off his kick. Close to the boundary line. Getting there first is Ryder Bug. The youngster, former South Launceston player. Kick smothered. Will end up being a boundary throw-in right next to the right behind post. So Premier League today, first up. Longford 91 defeated Deloraine 31. South Launceston 173 defeated Scottsdale 34. Final scores there. On the boundary throw in. Division 1 in a moment, and I get a second. Front position Lee, might have been held there. Comes here now towards Pitt, up against the boundary line, and it's a free kick going the way of Alex Lee. Not sure I saw what was happening there, but I was following the footy. Did you see what happened?
I think, with the contest, I think the ruckman basically had hold of him.
Yeah. I thought that was much before the whistle, though.
Yeah, I think it was a late whistle.
Yeah,
but certainly paid for holding.
Yep. I thought that initially. Alex Lee doesn't have a lot of set shots. He's only 25, 30 metres out. Beautiful kick on goal. Alex Lee shows all his experience and kicks a vital goal for North Launceston. They're 8-5-53. Launceston 9-6-60. So against the flow a little bit there. They did have a couple of behinds leading up to that, but can't finish by Alex Lee.
Yeah, and as I say, Alex doesn't go forward a lot and kick goals. So a definite reward there for the contest.
Some massive results in Division 1 today. Some close games. Bridgenorth 31 defeated Georgetown 25. St Pat's 70 upset Bracknell 69. Another big upset. Old Launcestonian 61 defeated Lilydale 45. And Rocherley 85 defeated Hillwood 34. So, yeah, some upsets there. Especially Old Launcestonians have been struggling.
Yeah.
But, they've got a big win there over Lilydale. Out it comes now here towards Chug. Tries to break through. Can't do so. Simpson lays a tackle. That's the wettest part of the ground right there. Players slipping and sliding. Umpire letting it go a long time. Darren, you got something?
I was going to say that the two sides there that are probably vying for second spot on the ladder were Lilydale and Bracknell, so both of them
gone down.
Yeah.
And Bridgenorth just edged closer to the 5, but they probably did need some Pats winning there. As Simpson now kicks inside 50. Front position Gibson. Good spoil by Pfeiffer. Plenty of Northern Bombers at the front. Here's Gibson, who followed beautifully. Left foot snap. Will fall short. Hedger can't take the mark. Jaden Hines with a don't argue. Kicks it out of bounds on the full. So who's closest to it? Jacob Kerr. Let's see if he can fashion a miracle from the boundary line here. So the man on the mark, probably about 40 out, 35 out perhaps. On the left-hand side. There'll be a massive kick here. Kick towards goal, always near side. In fact, very near side, out of bounds on the full. Dave Gruber, clearances this quarter, please.
4 for North Launceston and 2 from Launceston. Inside 56 to 4 North Launceston's favour.
Okay. 9-6-60 the Blues, 8-5-53 the Bombers. Great contest here, 1 versus 2 NTFA Premier League action. Outside defensive 50, off hands. Oh, good tackle laid there by North Launceston. Now it's kicked inside 50. Getting back is Jaden Hines. Missed the mark he maybe should have taken. Event working hard. Ball spills out. Pitt kicks in the Hedger direction. He fumbles it. He's caught with a ball now. As out comes Jaden Hines with a little kick. Gets it to the advantage there of his teammate in Ben Hyatt, who's caught holding the ball. And a little bit of dust up there with Declan Chug. Need to watch it because there have been a lot of 50s paid this evening. Here's Declan Chug now, 70 out. Kicks to the hot spot. Flyers required. Off hands. A lot of Blues there to mop up. Jacob Boyd gets it back to, is that Wilkinson back there?
I think it was.
Boyd laid the tackle. Umpire says no prior. That's interesting. He's drifted into defence, Archie, and he's getting out of there again. Going up to a forward position. From the ball up. Gibson working hard. Ball emerges. Bailey Mitchell up against the boundary line. Tackled by Boyd. Jack Avent swings the kick. Blues back in numbers once again. Hedger falls over. Now it comes back here towards Tina McCormack, who gets that clearing kick outside 50 they were after. Off hands. Runners required now. Off the ground by Conor McCormack. Not even pushing the back there to that Launceston player. No, it's holding the ball as he lays on top of it. Alex Lee switches play. Beautiful kick. Lockie Mitchell connects now with Simpson in the puddle on centre wing. Takes his time. Leading player coming forward, his husband. Picks it up beautifully. Goes on a big arc and then centres up here to Jacob Kerr. Kerr plays on. Leading player is a beautiful kick. And Jack Avent comes out, takes the mark. That was good skill. Good link-up footy there from the Bombers.
Polish from Sammy Husband there.
Wasn't it? Absolutely.
To look inside, hit that target, so, yeah.
Doesn't rush his possessions.
No.
I mean, he's going to get caught every now and then, but he just makes full use of that footy in his hands. So Jack Avent. This will bring the margin back to just one solitary point. He's 30 metres out, slightly left of centre. Kicking to the town end. And he's kicked a goal as Jack Avent. Umpire says full points. And just when you think one team is just getting on top, usually Launceston, the Bombers just find a way, and they trail by a point.
Claw their way back into the contest, don't they? Yeah.
That's Jackie Avent. Let me see, that's his second goal this evening.
Yep.
Just make sure they add up there. Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas for your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61.
Inside 50s would be balanced out this quarter pretty much?
Groups.
Well, they've had a bit of a run, North Launceston. They've moved up to 9 this quarter, and Launceston sort of stuck on the floor.
Which sort of defies that most of the play inside 50s has been at the other end through the game.
They kicked those first two goals, didn't they, Lost in this quarter, and they haven't had a lot of side up there since, and they're attacking 50.
No.
Here's a chance, though, through Farquhar. Steadies back on his kick. Long penetrating right foot kick inside 50. They fly from all directions. Ball hits the deck. And we'll get a stoppage. Umpire Tom McAtee. 17 minutes gone in this quarter. Here goes Ives. Waste no time. Puts on the right boot. Jake Hines approaches the footy. Event gets there first, but Jake Hines gets the spillage. Over to Tyrrell. Now to Jeffries. Measures the kick here in the Wilkinson direction. Spills off his hand out of play. It's a bit of push and shove afterwards. City Park Radio next week from 5 to 2 at the Scottsdale Recreation Ground for the first time. Brings back memories of the youth around the grounds, Darren.
Yes,
Kevin Hayes from Scottsdale.
Yep.
Never forget that. He was the Around the Grounds reporter for many, many years in the ABC. From the boundary throw-in, Ben Hyatt off the ground. Chance here for the Blues. Comes out towards Wheeler. Picks it up. Snaps. Great goal, Wheeler, is it? Oh, it's hit right on the line by the North Launceston defender. Get my glasses up to see who that was. I think it was Lockie Mitchell. It was a game-saving effort there. Goal-saving effort. Onto the wing. Declan Chugg weaves his way through. Handball now to Bo Nash. Needs support. Has it from Smedley. His kick's a bit affected by a tackle. Spalls out to Dom Pitt. He's tackled. Out of mid-air, Bo Nash. Might work okay here to his brother Jake Nash. Great smother, Jess Buller. Ricochets 10 metres his way. Now he fumbles. Just as he was about to pick the footy up. He's got it again. Third effort, Jess Buller. Ben Hyatt kicks quickly towards the goal square. Morris is there. But calm effort there from Theo Ives. And long kick to the left half-back finds Jake Nash. Chance to transition to their forward line here for North Launceston. Jake Nash's kick. Gets it now towards Bo Nash. Sam Husband's got the footy. Once again, he takes his time. Takes a bounce on the spongy turf. Kicks inside 50 and finds a teammate in Zach Martin. Once again, Sam Husband, the architect of this forward move for North Launceston. Zach Martin a little bit nervous, I think, about the distance. He kicked a nice long goal in the second quarter.
He's probably almost closer, I thought, from probably the one that he actually kicked. So I think he's got the distance in him, unless the ball is somewhat more waterlogged now.
Let's see. He hasn't had a lot of possessions, but he could get his second goal here tonight. Gets around on the right foot, kicks towards goal, and levels up the scores here I know he doesn't quite level up the scores. It's 1 point the difference once again. 9-6-60 North Launceston to the Blues 9-7-61. 20 minutes gone, third quarter. Jaden Hines. Decides to go out to the railway wing. Runs his full distance. Nice long kick. Off hands, taken by Jake Hines. Gets it away now to Finn Price. Up towards half forward. It might go too long there for Polfreyman. Smedley did well. Yep, front on contact there. Polfreyman on Smedley. Smedley with a 45 kick, gets it to Fletcher Bennett. Takes his time. Sideways now to the state player in Theo Ives. Big job last week on Josh Bruce, did well. Handball over now towards Jacob Kerr. Back to Ives, misses the target. Ives under pressure. Dives in, might have got high contact. Back it comes now. Jacob Kerr won't go 15. Lee takes the footy. All Smedley, little fumble. Slippery footy at the moment. We've got a high tackle. It won't be paid to advantage. It's going to come back here to Launceston. It's going to go to Jesse Price. Kicked the goal early in the game. In fact, he's... just kicked the one goal so far, Jesse Price. Far too far out to score, you'd think. Man of the mark on the paint of 50. For the leading player, Wilkinson. Oh, nearly took it too. Off his chest. Wilkinson works hard. Ball emerges just as the umpire had blown the whistle.
I just don't think that he expected it to carry that player.
No.
I think he was sort of expecting it was going to come off hands.
So North Launceston had filled the hole there. Yeah. They had a player back there, but
It was probably Theo Ives was down recovering from that knock, so it sort of left Archie by himself.
Stingle long up the wing, that's going to sail out of bounds into the grandstand over there, bounces back in. So tight part of the game. Big 10 minutes leading into three-quarter time here at UTAS Stadium. Been a terrific game of footy. A bit low scoring this quarter. Kick inside 50 for the Blues. Off the hands of Wheeler with a snap. That'll go all the way. Ooh. No, just off line. Just bounced to the wrong side of the post. Back out to a 2-point margin. So 2 goals apiece this quarter.
He's had a few opportunities, Wheeler, this quarter to kick a goal, and just missed on both occasions.
Long kick out from Lockie Mitchell. Aganis does well, gets it to Stingle. Chip kick to Dom Pitt, been really impressive today. Now to Bo Nash, their prime move is getting working here. Bo Nash up towards full forward, off hands. Gibson will snap a goal. Yes, he will. Will Gibson. He just ran to the side of the contest. He read it beautifully. And now North Launceston have taken the lead in this game. 10-6-66. Launceston 9-8-62. 2 goals to Will Gibson.
Yeah, and Will being obviously the son of Jason, so one of the 95 premiership players. So, as I say, really, really smooth ball transition from North there, from their back half. Linked up through the middle and basically gave their forwards a solid opportunity.
It hasn't been the day for Big Tony Aganis today with conditions-wise, but
no.
Nice little handball there. Set Stingle on his way.
Just sort of opened the game up, didn't it?
Yep. Dave Gruber, some stats for us.
Nearly evened up the inside 50s now, so North Launceston, that was their 11th, and Launceston are up to 8, and clearances North Launceston ahead there, 7-4.
Right, they're starting to get on top around the contest, so here they go now, the Blues. Atkins, long kick towards full forward, Jake Hines. Great thump away there from Bennett. Falls over to Conway, who'll snap. Ethan Conway offline. 9-9-63. Those 10-6-66.
It comes down to the team that takes those opportunities, like that, a good crumbing option there, kick the goal,
Ethan Conway probably had a little bit more time than he thought there.
Yeah.
He went quickly with the snap. But easy from up here.
Ball's on the back or over the back, so we've got to relay the footy from this end of the ground to the other, so hopefully we don't get any more hit the roof.
We've done some reminiscing today, but you remember the old hedge there?
I certainly remember the hedge.
Were you up in it?
I spent many a day up in the hedge. Yes.
And great memories. So that Invermay Park end. It was a bike track at the other end, if I remember rightly.
The velodrome over
the velodrome. Very different looking York Park as it was then. More sponsors came along, so out comes the kick there from Lockie Mitchell. Front position with Tina McCormack. It sailed over his head. Stingle tries to break through a couple of tackles. Not penalised.
Probably unfortunate there. I reckon could have been taken high.
Yeah, the first one, I thought the same. Lee to Chug, who just had a little fumble. Footy back in the congestion. Bombers lead by 3 points. Trailed at half-time and quarter-time. They've wrestled their way back into the lead. It's still anybody's game. Stingle long kick here towards Gibson. Off hands. Bailey Mitchell releases Pitt. He's got some time. He crosses 50. Short kick's beautiful to Avent. First grab, couldn't take the second. Under pressure from Ship. Great tackle, Ryan Ship, and will be rewarded. He's just one of those characters that goes under the radar a bit, Ryan Ship, but he does things well.
Just does a job. Very light of frame, so, he's still sort of finding his way at senior footy level.
Important tackle. Won the free kick. Kick wasn't great, though. And a centering kick will end up with Dom Pitt, who'll line up 20 out, almost directly in front. And the kick came there from Bo Nash. Started the game slowly, but really has come into it. So North Launceston haven't led by more than a goal for a long time. It's the early part of the game. And Dom Pitt, who made his debut for North Launceston as a 16-year-old, worked his way into the Devils, went into state for a little while, is back now at the Bombers. Kicking to the MMA Park end. Close to the man on the mark. And kicks the goal. It's Dom Pitt. And a pretty important one for the Bombers. They lengthen that lead out to 9 points. 11-6-72 to 9-9-63. First goal to Dom Pitt. And after we praised up young Ryan Ship there, his kick didn't quite hit the target, did it? So we talked about that 5 minutes ago, about this little period coming to three-quarter time. And Bombers have responded once again, got themselves in front. There's plenty of goal kickers today. They've been spread around. I don't think anyone's kicked more than two groups. There's a few players on two. Yeah. But no one's got more than a couple so far. So umpire Hayden Shepherd officiating today along with Tom McEntee and Ollie Pye. We're into red time now in the third quarter. Let's see what Launceston can do to respond. Off the ground though by Stingle, inside 50. Player slip over. Bailey Mitchell, Husband, snaps. Sam Husband for his third. Just offline. It's 11-7-73 North Launceston. The Blues 9-9-63. What's our disparity now in inside 50s groups?
North Launceston up to 13 and 10 for Launceston.
Okay. Jacob Boyd. He's gone the direct route a lot today. But he goes the handball over the top this time to Ryan Ship. Gets around his opponent. Kicks up the wing, but straight to Aganis. Takes the mark. Couple of kicks out from goal. Takes his time to assess the situation. Now kicks long. Inside 50, off hands. Ship. Tackled from behind. They can reset here. Both teams. 28 and a half minutes gone. Up the ball goes, and Aganis with a tap, not to advantage. Gillow got a high tackle. Will take a free kick. Bailey Gillow. With
those inside 50s, North have just capitalised by being more efficient when they get it in there. So they've kicked 4-4 for the quarter. Launceston kicked 2-3.
Yep. 4 goals to 2. So Gillow now. Searching kick to the wing. Off hands. From the spillage, no one can take effective possession. We're going to ball up. Listen to City Park Radio, 103.7 and 96.5. And via the AFL Tas YouTube live stream. Here comes Bo Nash now. I was going to say collects the footy, but he had a little fumble. Has to backtrack. Centering kick to Dom Pitt. Sport away from him. Coming through his husband. He has to be tackling now on the Launceston opponent. Now comes the footy, still on attacking 50. Chug escapes a tackle. Backwards kick. Centering kick now towards Simpson. Good work there from the defender in Atkins. Jaden Hines. Dispossessed. Incorrect disposal. Holding the ball, whatever you like. Free kick North Launceston. And we'll have to wait and see who's going to take the resulting free kick.
Bailey Lockie Mitchell, is it? Or
Bailey Mitchell.
Bailey Mitchell.
Number 11. He's been amongst the goals this year as Bailey Mitchell. He's kicked 27. Last couple of seasons, he's really developed as a small forward for North Launceston. And this game has taken a turn that I didn't quite expect.
No, it's
at half-time.
Well, as I say, I think North are sort of starting to win the football around the contest, and it's just creating those opportunities.
Bailey Mitchell kicks another one for North Launceston. They're right on top here now at UTAS Stadium. 12-7-79. Game high lead for them. And they lead Launceston 9-9-63. And I'm going to ask you the magic question. What can Launceston do to get back into this contest?
Well, I think they've really got to get back to winning the stoppage, winning at clearance. Interestingly, they seem to have gone away from that attacking option of going into through the corridor. So they're trying to maintain that possession down the wing sort of thing. So whether they do that, whether they structurally, whether they put an Archie Wilkinson or a Zach Morris behind the footy to change things up, or just continue on and try and gain ascendancy out of the middle.
Tony, we haven't got to you for a while down there. Any developments down there on the boundary line?
Not a lot, really. Jaden Hines has just come off briefly to have blood knee attended to, but I suspect he'll be back out there pretty quickly. Other than that, no, it's pretty quiet down here.
Thank you, Tony. As the balls work towards the North Launceston half-forward line, Bailey Gillow, he's caught from behind you. The tackling pressure has gone up a notch here from the Bombers. We know they play a pretty physical sort of game in conditions like this. Tina McCormack spikes it over his head, but only as far as Sam Simpson. Bad bounce for him. Comes Balaji, they're fumbling left, right and centre. Finally off the ground by Stingle to Pitt. Back to Chug, gets around a tackle, gets to 48, chip kick. Avent does it well. Jackie Avent up against Ryan Shipp. And Avent this quarter's played that old forward pocket roll, hasn't he?
He's sort of gone out of the middle and
he's drifted back there.
Gone forward and, has really applied that pressure in that forward half as well.
He's kicked the 2 goals today.
They've taken 8 marks inside 50 this quarter, North Launceston.
That's a very important stat, Grooves, well pointed out. Avent, this to make margin 22 on a wet night. Could be hard to get over. Jackie Avent has kicked it. And 22 points is indeed the margin. 13-7-85. Plays 9-9-62. So we had 6 goals this quarter for North Launceston. And the Blues just 2. We get down to Tony Webb, who's got something for us.
Yeah, I have. Young Smedley, number 36, is off. His boot's off and his ankle's been iced. So that doesn't look good for the rest of the game. So
down 2 players now on the bench. That's significant.
Yeah. Just those 2 goals in red time there that North have been able to score, that can be quite deflating on a side.
3 goals now for Jack Avent. Have I got that right?
That's correct,
Correct
yes.
there, Darren. Thank you. So, yes, 22-point margin. We must mention those couple of rotations, but we know North Launceston are a pretty fit team. Are we running the game out? North Launceston tally the tackle there on Gillow. Up towards half forward. Rising Iron taking a mark there is Bennett. He's going to settle things down a little bit. They've got the ascendancy at the moment. No need to rush things. 33 and a half minutes gone in the quarter. There's the siren. And an impressive quarter for North Launceston. And they lead 13 goals, 7, 85. So good kicking in that quarter, 6 goals, 1. And they lead Launceston 9-9-63. And they kicked the 2 goals, 6 in that quarter. So not really making the most there of their opportunities up forward, Launceston. And then the back half of the quarter, the Bombers made them pay. Darren.
Yeah, exactly. And as I said, those red time goals certainly help. So, it's up to Launceston now to regroup. What worked for them early, and can they go back to that, or do they need to look at something structural to change it up sort of thing? So I think the contest is still, it's up for grabs, but obviously now that North have got that lead, Launceston are really going to have to take the game on.
I think it was that North midfield. I'm looking at Stingle, Pitt, Bo Nash, Simpson. They've had their best quarter there. They've combined well, and they really started to set up the wall there, North Launceston style, where they just weren't letting it out of their forward line.
And they rolled Jack Avent into the forward half.
Yep.
And, so all of a sudden you don't rely on Jack Avent being one of the premier midfielders. Put him in the forward half, and he's created opportunities to score goals and capped it off with 3 himself.
With Brandon Leary going off, he's almost taken that small forward role, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
He just used his bit of experience there against young Ryan Shipp a couple of times.
Yep.
So the goal kickers for the Bombers, 3 to Jack Avent, 2 each to Sam Husband and Will Gibson, 1 to Brandon Leary, Bailey Mitchell, Declan Chugg, Dom Pitt, Alex Lee and Zach Martin. Good spread of goal kickers, as have Launceston. 2 each to Jake Hines, Zach Morris, Bailey Gillow, and 1 to Ben Hyatt, Archie Wilkinson and Jesse Price. Scroobs, the stats.
Hit-outs to three-quarter time. North Launceston 53 to Launceston 20. Clearances, North Launceston 32, Launceston 27. Inside 50s, 41 for North Launceston and 36 for Launceston. Marks inside 50, 11 for North Launceston and 6 for Launceston, and it was 8-1 that quarter. Intercept marks, North Launceston 8, Launceston 6, and free kicks 20 for North Launceston and 28 for Launceston.
Just before we go for a break, Dan, what do you think of that stat there? 8 inside 50s for North Launceston that quarter. What does that tell you?
8 inside 50s.
Oh, 16.
16 for sorry.
8 inside 50 marks.
Marks, sorry.
Marks.
Yeah,
So,
marks.
look,
Yep.
and I think that was probably just the speed of ball movement that they were actually able to isolate. I would have thought that probably Jack Avent probably took a couple of those. So, just getting those matchups right so that the speed of ball movement in there means that basically they can capitalise on it and basically either take uncontested or contested marks.
Three-quarter time here at UTAS Stadium. Time for a break and a hot drink. Get a cappuccino from our sponsor, Brew Coffee Hut. They're at the game today near the grandstand, and they're at venues around northern Tasmania, at the footy in particular. Thank you to Brew Coffee Hut for your support. We'll take a short break here on City Park Radio. At three-quarter time, the Bombers lead by 22 points. Three-quarter time here at UTAS Stadium. You hear the siren blowing there. It's three-quarter time, and only a couple minutes before we resume here in the last quarter. And the Blues have got the job ahead of them. They trail by 22 points, thanks to the stats guys at Launceston Footy Club. That's Darren Lovell and Damien Donnelly. 19 possessions at three-quarter time to Jacob Boyd with 8 in that quarter. He's been a standout in their defence, hasn't he?
Yeah, and that probably showed how much the ball was spending down there through that quarter sort of thing. So, Jacob was sort of mopping a lot of it up back there sort of thing. So, it's, as I say, the interesting one is the two key forwards, the two key pillars for Launceston in Archie Wilkinson and Zach Morris have had 8 and 7 respectively sort of thing. So, I suppose to win the contest, if you go with that structure, then you need more out of those key forwards. They've really got to impose themselves on the game.
Tony, your three-quarter time report, please.
Yeah, I went over to the Launceston huddle because I was quite interested to see how they would react. It's much the same as the last time when they played at Windsor Park. He feels they're still within the game. He asked the question of the players and they all responded positively. He feels you've got to play with intensity. It dropped off a bit that quarter. There was only 8 tackles opposed to 30 and 31 for the two previous quarters by their count. He says, got to play our way. You have to play with greater intensity, be a bit more direct, make wise decisions. He was just pretty happy, really. He said, we're here, it's a privilege to be here on this ground, playing in this rivalry at this time of year. Make the most of it, but enjoy it as well.
Okay, fairly positive vibe there. You've got to be, don't you? You don't want to...
Oh, yeah.
There's no point these days of focusing on negatives.
And I think the interesting comment is to play that more direct, which I think in that first half they did that.
Yep.
I would suggest in that quarter they probably went more safe around the boundary line rather than trying to pick off those targets through the middle of the ground.
I think as Launceston tackling pressure went down, North Launceston's went up.
For sure.
It was a change in the game. It's from the centre bounce. Lee gets a tap, but it's sharked there by Farquhar. He's worried out of it. Off the ground, Chug. First goal important in this quarter. There's Avent with a handball. Tries to find Bo Nash. Contested footy now inside 50 for North Launceston. Jake Hines clears the area. Bouncing footy. Ends up there with Lockie Shea. Shares it with Jacob Kerr. Fumble opens the door there for Palfreyman. Back to Hines again. He just hacks it out of the air. Up here towards Farquhar, who takes a good mark. Used his body well there against Ryder Bug. I just mentioned there, Darren, that first goal is going to be pretty important in this quarter.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
If you get out to 5 goals in these conditions, it's going to be hard. Farquhar, searching kick. Off hands. He's looking for Morris. Close to the boundary line. Ends up now with Atkins to Palfreyman. His handball goes straight to Stingle, who takes on the tackler. Releases the footy. Atkins, dispossessed. And holding the ball, says the umpire. So it's going to go North Launceston's way. A little bit rough there, I thought, on Atkins. He didn't have it very long. And now words are spoken. Maybe the ball wasn't given back properly. So we get 50 metres. And Gribjell keeping tally of those. Is that the first one tonight for the Blues?
That's the first one they've got tonight.
Yep.
I think it would have to be for dissent because I think the ball split out of the content, which is sitting on the boundary line. So,
Ryder Bug long to the teeth of goal. Off hands. It was Jack Avent there launching, but he's missed the goal attempt to the right. First score of the last quarter, 13-8-86 to 9-9-63. Kick out from fullback. Jacob Boyd with those duties once again. Kicks long off the chest here of Tina McCormack. He butters up. Handball not effective. Launceston player caught. Ben Hyatt. Swinging kick out of the tackle. Wilkinson leads up. Can't quite get a handle on it. It's a really slippery piece of soap, that footy now. Kick towards the boundary line from Jeffries. From out is Morris up against Lockie Mitchell, who does well. The two number 6s go at it. It's out of bounds. Just probably need a bit more, as you said, out of Zach Morris and Wilkinson. They started the game pretty well. I mean, there wasn't a lot of entries in that latter half of the third quarter, but
if you sort of look at Launceston's forward half, like you've got obviously got Archie, you've got Zach, you've got Ethan Conway, so they are quite tall. So, you know, would a better option be to have another small coming forward down there in these conditions?
Off hands. Tackle laid, and it's going to be another ball up. So already 3 minutes into this last quarter. No goals as yet. Spills to the back. Speedy Stingle kicks it off the ground. Pitt. Release the handball. Chance now for Chug. It's over to Lockie Shea. Crafty little kick. Oh, and that's a good mark. Reining it in there was Dom Pitt. Handball's now to Bo Nash. Nash to the pocket, looking for Bailey Mitchell. Nearly took it. Off hands. The dangerous husband's in there. Jaden Hines working hard. Blues defence under pressure. Bailey Mitchell again. Back to Husband. Oh, the right foot kick to the teeth of goal. Nearly a goal, but just kept in play there by the Blues. Kick to a central position is dangerous. And it's a push in the back, I reckon. Yes. Against Tina McCormack. Going back to Declan Chug. Yeah, just that kick. I'm not sure who the Blues defender was, Darren, but he just kicked it back at an angle.
Yeah, it was sort of
to the goal face.
It was a hack off the ground sort of thing. So
well, he wasn't meant to go there.
No. I think, you know, the composure there around, we'll probably just still try and pick the footy up.
So Declan Chug, who's kicked just the one goal today, 16 for the year. He's right in front. This could be a bit of a dagger for the Blues early in this last quarter. Umpire does not move. Goal to Declan Chug. And that's the one the Blues didn't want at the start of the last quarter, Darren Gibb.
No. I think with, you know, Jake's messaging was, you know, basically play our way. I think the expectation would be to try and put some scoreboard pressure on by kicking a couple of goals early. So, for North to kick a goal, it's now a long road back.
Certainly is. And just, we talked about it being an arm wrestle for 2.5 quarters.
Yep.
Just the back end of that third quarter, North Launceston got control.
Yep.
And they put the foot on the throat of Launceston. They haven't released the pressure as yet. 14-8-92 plays 9-9-63. 7 goals to 2 now since half time. The Bombers' way. Out it comes. Chance now for Launceston. Here's Jeffries. Needs an outlet. Ryan Shipp, the short kick, goes nicely there to Jake Hines. He slides in, can't take the mark. Battles on. Numbers there with North Launceston. Out they come. Dom Pitt. Ends up now here with Declan Chugg, who kicked the last goal on the run. He might kick another one. He does. Declan Chugg showing leadership. The skipper of North Launceston kicks 2 in about a minute to put this game possibly beyond doubt. 15-8-98 to 9-9-63. And that's leadership for you, Darren Geard.
That is, yes. Picked up loose ball and basically took it upon himself to actually finish.
Yep. Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas for all your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. Great finish there from Declan Chugg. And the Blues there, they looked out. They got possession and just that one skill error.
Yeah.
And they make you pay North Launceston.
If it breaks down, then expect it to come back the other way.
Yep. Umpire McIntyre throws the ball aloft here under the lights at UTAS Stadium. Lee gets a tap. Hoffman's tackled from behind there by Bo Nash, who's really lifted since quarter time. Thumped on there by Stingle. Player slipped over there, Bailey Mitchell. Off the ground, Bo Nash into a dangerous spot. Launceston defence working overtime. Dom Pitt once again laying the tackle. He's been fantastic tonight. Real breakout game back in this season for Dom Pitt. After an interstate move, he's going to be a big player come the final series for North Launceston. Alex Lee flips it over. Avent swings towards goal. Has he kicked another one, the veteran? Offline. 15-9-99 to 9-9-63. And Blues just struggling to get it forward to centre at the moment, Darren.
Yeah, I think inside 50s for North would be certainly...
well, tell us, Groups.
Well, Launceston just had the one clearance this quarter.
Yeah.
That's it. 5 inside 50s to North.
Jacob Boyd runs his full measure, kicks outside defensive 50. Thumped forward by Stingle. Lays in the lap there of Wheeler. And Jacob Wheeler's tackled to a standstill. The ball up right on attacking 50 for North Launceston. Can the Blues mount a fight back late in this game? Here's Declan Chugg again. Back to Dom Pitt. Bouncing footy. Close to the boundary line. Sam Simpson's in there. Ball's over the boundary line.
Launceston just can't get ascendancy around the stoppage at the moment. And I think that's probably the biggest thing at the moment. Like North are controlling the stoppage, controlling the clearance. Good luck if you're a defender with the ball coming in out of those stoppages.
So, if you just joined us, Brandon Leary out of the game with a quad injury. Ball spills to the front of goal. Ryan Shipp gets tackled. Can't get an effective kick away. Comes back here to Alex Lee with a big fella. Snaps a goal! Oh, they love that, North Launceston. Right in front of the faithful in the Carlton draft stand. Alex Lee, the big fella. Don't Ruckman love it when they kick goals like that, Darren?
Yeah, opportunistic, is that what it was?
Yes.
It was almost the Rovers' goal for the Ruckman.
And he's kicked 2 today.
Yep.
As Alex Lee's had a good game, and we just expect high standards from him, don't we? I mean,
yeah,
the hit outs.
Look, he's been, you look at the TSL, one of the most dominant ruckmen. So
60 hit outs to 21 today.
Yeah.
So just been dominant once again. And that's another goal to North Launceston. 42 points the margin. And once again, if you've just joined us at half time, Launceston led by 3 points.
6 goals to 2 in that third quarter, really.
Yep. And now 9 goals to 2 since half time. It's a long time to go in this game. 20 minutes at least, based on previous quarters. Out it comes towards Hyatt. He's bustled off it there by Avent. Pitt again does well. Handball over the top. Take it now, Simpson. 50 out. Handballs it straight to Tina McCormack, who rides a bump. Now to Hyatt. They can mount something here, Launceston. Hyatt takes his time. Kicks under pressure towards half forward. Falls in the lap there of Theo Ives, who takes an intercept mark. Kick's not great. Puts his teammate under pressure. That was Oscar Mansell. He coughs up the handball. Now's Gillow on that left foot. Towards half 40 to Morris. One grab, two. Takes the mark. Morris, centering kick. Looking for Jess Buller. Oh, he couldn't quite take the mark. Good pressure, Lockie Mitchell. He wins the footy. And it eventually emerges from defence, but straight in the lap there of Jaden Hines, who kicks inside 50 to Jake Hines. So I think it was Sam Simpson maybe with the outlet kick. Yes, it was, number 2. He throws his head back. That missed the mark. It was a great effort from Lockie Mitchell.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And it went to Simpson, who just kicked it straight to Jaden Hines, who found his brother Jake. He's got a tough shot, it has to be said. He'll be delivering from right on 50. Slightly more than 45-degree angle. Jake Hines to the town end goal. Not a bad attempt. Oh, I was going to say he snuck it in, but it's just missed to the right. First score for Launceston for a while, certainly for the quarter. 9-10-64 to 16-9-105. From fullback, Lockie Mitchell. Goes long. All the Blues, though, over on the far side. Comes back here towards Wilkinson. Handballs backwards to Ben Hyatt. Kick straight away. A lot of Bombers back in defence. Or Morris almost took the ball with him. Handball backwards from Lockie Shea. Kick from North Launceston not effective. To the teeth of goal from Conor McCormack. Oh, nearly a mark there to Morris. We've got a whistle on play to be a free kick anyway. Or was it a mark to Hines?
It was a free kick, I think it was
I
played.
think it was a holding.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hines right in front, going to waste no time. Kicks a goal for Launceston. Umpire works a bit, but no problems there with Jake Hines kicking his third goal. And just some polite applause there. A little bit of an anticlimax in this game because it's blown right out. 10-10-70 Launceston. North Launceston 16-9-105.
Yeah, a bit of the sting's gone out of it, hasn't it? Sort of with North basically controlling and extending that scoreboard lead. It's and
we've got to remind too, listeners and viewers, that the Bombers are 2 players down. Brandon Leary and Isaac Smedley.
Yes, yeah.
Out for the game. So 35 points the margin. That's Launceston's first goal since, I reckon, they kicked 2 in the first couple of minutes of that third quarter.
They did, yeah.
They've probably gone 40 minutes of playing time without scoring a goal. Farquhar might have won that tap. The player for Launceston tackled there. Hyatt was tackled high. Play on now to advantage. As Farquhar kicks it deep inside attack. Bailey Gillow now from 40 out towards the goal. 1-on-1 here. Wilkinson and Ives. Wilkinson. He kicks it off the ground. 2 in a minute for Launceston. Is there a pulse?
Well, it's
under 5 goals now.
I say it's positive that all of a sudden the stoppage game swings, as we spoke about. All of a sudden Launceston win a couple of clearances, can put the North backs under pressure, and have been able to capitalise on that and score a couple of goals.
Yeah, so under 5 goals, and we've seen for a day that was very wet early and a ground that's a bit slippery, we had 27 goals in this game. Credit to both teams. Great entertainment. So goals to Hines, Jake Hines and Wilkinson. 13 and a half minutes gone. 16-9-105, 11-10-76. 29 points. Back underway. Lee in the direction of Simpson with the tap. Stingle with pace. Breaks away. Kicks off the ground. Jaden Hines will come out and meet it. Little kick ineffective. Spills out of bounds. Listen to City Park Radio, 103.7 and 96.5. Dave Moore, Darren Geard, Dave Gruber and Tony Webb on the boundary. It's been a great game to cover this evening. The 4 o'clock time slot. So no doubt maybe some people from other games have drifted down to watch the last part of this game. Boundary thrown falls short. Beautiful tap, Lee. Finds Martin. Kicks directly inside 50. Nice work there from Tyrrell. Couldn't find connection with the handball though. A lot of players around the contest. Gibson tries to break through. He's tackled by Hyatt. You get a ball up.
In the first half, Launceston there in that position were probably clean with the footy and were able to transition out. So where at the moment it seems to be, they as soon as it's in there, North have got the pressure on.
Now we've got a player down injured. Just look for the number. I think it's Jacob Boyd who's getting up gingerly. Seems okay. Was it Seth Pfeiffer? Those numbers on the front of the Guernseys are quite handy down in this situation.
Yes.
There's Seth Pfeiffer. The number 11, he's got a blood rule situation as well. So he's not getting off the ground too quickly. He's going to have to come through the interchange. So Ryan Shipp comes back on the ground. Get Tony to see what the issue is there. A bit of claret coming out of the nose, perhaps.
It's interesting you talk about the jumper numbers on the front. That the AFL have never actually adopted that.
Yeah, it's like when you've got a pair of binoculars and you can see a play coming towards you.
Yeah,
it is an advantage to have those digits. Quite obvious. Kick out by Hyatt to half back. Bouncing footy. A lot of players around the contest. Wheeler did well. His kick might come off here. I don't think it was meant to go to Jaden Hines, but it did. Jaden Hines got a little bit of a march on his opponent. Flips it over the top to Jeffries. Now to Bailey Gillow. Good link up there from the Blues. The Bailey Gillow kick, though, wasn't great. And they'll force a stoppage here on centre wing. Don't know if you can see what the issue is there with Seth Pfeiffer. Tony, got something for us?
It was, a bit of blood coming out of the nose. A fair bit. It looks like they just about stopped at those, so hopefully he should be back shortly.
They need him back on the ground. As Jacob Kerr with a left foot kick towards Gibson at half forward. Little fumble. Shipp dives in. Gibson, though, did well in the end. Left foot kick, centres the ball. Off hands there of Martin. Jacob Boyd, long kick out of defence. Up there looking for Finn Price. Good spoil from behind by Stingle. Stingle back in there again. Little shovel. Ends up with Gibson. And balls to a teammate and Avent. Towards the boundary line. Coming out and taking the mark is Jaden Hines. Got a lot of possessions across half back with Jacob Boyd. Those two have been pretty good in defence for the Blues. Plays on, puts himself under pressure. Farquhar front position. Takes the chest mark. Was a touch ball though. Well, that's smart play out of mid-air there. Up towards the wing. From the Launceston player. But ends up there with Simpson who just overruns it. Bo Nash, little fumble. Player's tied now. Jake Hines kicks it straight. There to Husband. Husband, great vision. Spots up a teammate. Jake Nash there at half forward. He might settle back for a shot. He's got an open goal square if he goes quickly. He goes sideways though.
Rider bug.
Yes, Rider bug in those orange boots. Oh, he also too far out to score. He launches, does the youngster. In towards the goal square, off hands and out of bounds. Just that vision again from Sam Husband. Look, he probably only had 10 possessions tonight, but every single one of them has been quality.
Very creative, yeah. And he really hasn't wasted any opportunity, I don't think, that when he's had it, sort of thing. So, and obviously that goal was worth having a look at.
Put that up on the socials, I think. So, really good goal. Taking a bounce on the wing, getting the ball back again, and calm finish from about 40 out. From the boundary throw in. Aganis shovels it in his teammate's direction. Martin dives in. Ball up. Tony, what do you got? Some more information there on Seth Pfeiffer?
Yeah, it's actually a cut lower lip on the inside of it, so they're working hard to try and stop the bleeding.
Yeah, tough one to stop bleeding those. Still on the boundary line. Here's a snap by Jake Nash. It'll be off to the right. One behind. It's an even 5 goals now. We're crossing the 19-minute mark. Dave Gruber, you got some stats for us?
Clearances North Launceston 10-2 this quarter. Inside 50s 9-4 North Launceston.
Okay, so there's something that's happened in the middle of the ground. Umpire Hayden Shepherd. I don't like to talk about umpires, Darren, but I just feel like there's been a bit of over-officiating tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what...
Now I've got something back.
So the penalty there... So there was a free kick paid to North when they took the ball from their forward half to the middle of the ground.
Yes, and now it's going back into the goal square area.
So if there was I would have thought if there's an indiscretion in the middle of the ground, then the free kick would have been paid where the ball was.
That's what I thought as well. Yourself, Groups?
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, I was a bit puzzled.
But now we've got a shot at goal.
I thought when it was coming back, it must have been a Launceston free.
Yeah. Yes,
but it wasn't.
But the upshot of it all is that Declan Chug is 10 metres out directly in front and kicks a goal for North Launceston. That is his third for the quarter. Am I correct in saying that,
yes,
Darren?
Yep, and his fourth for the game.
So 4 goals to Declan Chug, 19 for the year. Just to remind you, Darren, that you've got to do votes later on.
Yep.
Okay, so to start, you might start formulating a few ideas. We'll have our interview with Tony on the ground afterwards. Then we'll get to you for the 3-2-1 quick wrap-up. We've got the Rock Show coming up on City Park Radio at 7 o'clock. 17-10, 1-12, 11-10, 76. So back out to a 36-point margin. Players tired now late in this game. It's been conditions are much better, as we said, Darren, than we thought we were going to get earlier in the day. So it's been a good game of footy. 28 goals kicked has been an indication of that. Well, out to the wing now with Jacob Kerr. He picks it up. He's tackled by Oliver Atkins. Yes, he could have got rid of that, says the umpire. That's a good decision. So a bit of a wrestle there between Atkins and Kerr. And Kerr better be careful. There's been a few 50s this evening. Back to Atkins for that jumper change. Started in the number 17. Now we're in Guernsey number 5. And just gets a little bit of a how do you do from Jacob Kerr as he kicks the ball up the wing. It's out of play right in front of us here. Level 4 of the main Western stand here at UTAS Stadium. It's got a name anymore, Darren? Used to be the GUNNS stand.
This one?
Yeah.
I think it's just called the Western Stand.
Western Stand, yeah. No sponsors anymore?
No.
From the boundary throw in, Lee pushes his opponent Farquhar out of the way. He wanted the free kick. Lee then launches a kick up the wing. Off hand, Zach Martin can't pick it up. Tyrrell releases the footy. Back now to Jaden Hines. Weaves his way through traffic. Puts it on the boot. Kicks it to half forward. Price takes the mark. Chip kick. Just hangs in the air too long for Jake Hines to take the mark. Back now to Fletcher Bennett. He's in another good game this evening. Up the wing towards Aganis. Off hands. Jaden Hines. Called his name a lot tonight. Atkins, not a great kick on this occasion. Back to Aganis. Handball to Chug. Chug has a handball option in Gibson. Overlap now if he wants to Bailey Mitchell. He goes there. Bailey Mitchell, 40 out, 30 out, angle, kicks towards goal. Really should have gobbled up that opportunity. He's kicked out of bounds on the full. You expect Bailey Mitchell to do a little bit better there. 28 goals this season. He'd be a little bit disappointed there, Darren.
Yeah. I'm not sure that there are any other options, but you'd want to finish from there, I would
Probably
thought.
could have ran a little bit further still. And maybe got a little bit straighter.
Possibly even squared up a little bit, yeah.
Yep. But it's out of bounds on the full. So, result now beyond question here at UTAS Stadium. Crossing 23 minutes. Maybe another 10 minutes of game time left. Entertaining encounter, but in the end, it's been North Launceston have been too strong in this second half.
Yeah.
But I suppose, we'll talk about it later, I suppose, Darren, but still Launceston know they can match them.
Oh, look, I think they can probably take that out of the first half.
Yes.
If in that first quarter, if they're taking their opportunities, all of a sudden scoreboard pressure can potentially change the way the game plays out.
Jaden Hines again kicks to the centre of the ground. He hasn't really got a target there, though. And they set up beautifully to North Launceston. And there's Lockie Mitchell, another player that goes under the radar, but he's been very good tonight. Get to Tony in a second. This comes out here to ride a bug. Marks on centre wing. As a player leading. It's Jake Nash. Nash looks left, looks right. Takes off. Right foot kick inside 50. Fly from Gibson. One grab, couldn't get the second. Follows up. Weaves his way through. Gets a kick away of sorts. Aganis with the handball. Players fight on for the footy. Palfreyman's in there. And we'll get a ball up. Tony, very quickly, what do you got?
Sam Hudson's off, having work done on the upper left thigh into the buttock area.
Okay, so just hopefully that's nothing too serious there. Bassani had a great game tonight. Pylfreeman released the kick out of defence. Off the ground, Conway. Back here towards Finn Price. They're just hacking out of defence now, Launceston. Well, that might have been a high contact there on the North player it was. That's Stingle. Just feel as if Launceston have resorted a bit, Darren, to that. Let's get the ball out of our area as quickly as possible type kick.
No composure.
Which they weren't doing in the first half.
No, I think in the first half their ball security was really good. And sort of after half time, they've sort of gone away from that.
Gannis tackled to a standstill, ball up. When you get a side that sets up like North Launceston, you're probably a 10% chance if you just hack it out of there.
Yeah.
Ship there working hard for Launceston. Works out on this occasion to Gillow. Probably wasn't 15, now he's tackled. Play on now. Dom Pitt, 45 out, runs full measure. Dom Pitt kicks a wonderful goal for North Launceston.
I think it was Ryder Bug.
That was Ryder Bug, thank you. Those two look a little bit alike. Yeah, Ryder Bug, that's a lovely finish from a young player. And it's a game-high lead now, 42 points. And he's been impressive tonight. Once again, a bit like Sam Husband. Hasn't had a lot of the footy,
no,
but has done some good things.
Yeah.
And he finished calmly on that occasion. 18-10, 118 to 11-10, 76. So North Launceston piled another 5 goals in this quarter. They kicked 6 in the second quarter, 6 in the third quarter, and now 5 in the last quarter. 18-10, 118, 11-10, 76. The dying moments of this game now. Probably another 5 minutes left of playing time. Tackle laid. Umpire says, ball it up once more. Winners today in the Premier League. Longford went over top of Deloraine. A bit of a close-ish game for a while, but Longford pulled away in that last quarter, and South Launceston a comfortable win over Scottsdale. Here we go now through Bailey Gillow. He gets to 50. Kick up here towards Jake Hines over the back. Spills out of play. Boundary throw in. And the North Launceston defenders, you just see there high-fiving each other, feeling confident. Boundary throw in, 10 metres around from the right behind post. 27 minutes gone in the last quarter. Clears the ruck contest. Gillow once again. Did he get high contact? No, he didn't. Good ball up. So the North faithful, especially those in the club rooms at that 1995 reunion, will be pretty happy tonight. Swinging kick there from Finn Price towards goal. Seen through for a behind. They'll be pretty happy tonight either way, Darren, but be extra special happy. Heard from Anthony Loon. Great to hear from him at half-time. Talked to him for much longer. He's great footballer back in his day, was Anthony Loon.
Exactly, yeah. Spent some time at Carlton.
Yes. So handball now from Kerr to Zach Martin. Gannis, that's a good spoil, or is it not a good spoil? It wasn't a good spoil as it turned out. Spits out now towards Simpson. Up against Wheeler. Good contest between the two players. Kick towards the goal square. Loose footy. It's going to be a ball up. Right next to the left behind post. 10 metres in from the boundary line. Margin 41. Chance for a late goal here for the Bombers. Footy now worked out here to Launceston. Coming through is Simpson. Right foot kick towards goal. Just fails to make the distance. Ball still in play. Still behind that left behind post. So we had another ball up. Just waiting now for the final siren. Sting's gone out of this contest. Tony's got something else for us, which we'll get down to in a second. Here's a Gannis. He nearly got the snap away. It's in the goal square. Jaden Hines, who's worked manfully all day, out to Ryan Shipp. Out by Jacob Boyd. Right on attacking 50. Gillow. Centering kicks a good one. Finds Wilkinson, who's drifted up from the forward line. Kick straight away in the direction of Jake Hines. Over the back, 2 against 1. Fletcher Bennett, so it lays the block there, but a tired Lockie Mitchell sees it over the boundary. Tony, what do you got?
Not a lot, actually. There's a lot of tired bodies down here, as you can imagine. A little bit of work being done on just ankles and thighs and things like that, but otherwise it's all been good.
Thank you, Tony. Just looking at next week's fixtures for these teams. Launceston play Longford at Windsor Park. Get to that in a minute. Over the back, Lee releases the kick towards the wing. Over the back, taken by Ben Hyatt. Ben Hyatt, he's got the torpedo hold there, and sure enough, he goes for it. Not sure that was the option, but it might work out okay to Conway out of bounds. Gee, it'd be many a long year since Launceston have played Longford at Windsor Park, Darren. We have to go back to the 80s, wouldn't we?
Would be, I would have thought, yeah. Probably the early days of the NTFL, I would have thought.
I think Longford were in it for 1 year back then, yeah. The other ones next week, Scottsdale Deloraine, which we'll be at 2 p.m. at Scottsdale Recreation Ground. And North Launceston play South at UTAS Stadium. It's been a while since those two have played here as well. So the Bombers back here next week. Is Nash, handball, over the boundary line. "31 minutes gone in this game in the last quarter. Time just ticking over 6:45 here in northern Tasmania. Coming up next, the Rock Show on City Park Radio. Spills now to Poultryman. Thumps it inside 50. Almost a mark. First, second grab, Morris. Can't take it. Once again, Lockie Mitchell does well. Ball spits out. Conway snaps towards goal. Fades away. Interesting, Jake Hines has played a deep forward most of this last quarter.
Yeah.
You think there's a niggle there or something, an issue?
Not sure.
Yeah. Thought he might have been in around the ball, especially early in the quarter when the game was perhaps still up for grabs. Anyway, ball comes out now towards half forward for Launceston. Taken by Jeffries. Kick towards Morris. Bennett does well. Ben Hyatt inside out. Kickers might fall to Jake Hines. No, good work there. Once again, Lockie Mitchell. There's been some unsung heroes back there today in that back line for North Launceston. They've kept it very tight. If you just joined us, Launceston got out to about 17-point lead at one stage. But a big third quarter from North Launceston. Set up the victory here this evening. Front position, Lee. Thumps it towards Bennett. Snap. Jake Hines towards goal. Across the face. Out of bounds on the full. 32 minutes gone. Margin 40. So we have to retrieve the ball from over the fence there. Lockie Mitchell in the back pocket. Ground with distinct brown patches now after 4 games today. Off the hands there of Gibson. You could hear it in our effects mic slap on his palms. Comes back out now to Gibson. Chain of handballs from Bonash to Gibson. He just kicks it inside 50. Off to the races. Who's going to get there first? Bailey Mitchell will. But just evades him at the last moment. Long handball back in defence now from Hedger. Oh, it's going to be off the ground. It's going to be a goal to North Launceston, is it? Umpire slaps his breast and says it's one behind. Hit the post. So 18-11, 119 to 11-12, 78. Short kick comes into Gillow. Plays on immediately. Goes down the wing. Finds a teammate there in Atkins. Spots up Finn Price. Attacking side of the wing now. Kicks it high in the Morris direction. He's got 2 up against him. He still takes the mark. Zach Morris. Thought about playing on. Now he does. He's got Jake Hines in the pocket. He'll take the mark. And this could just about be the last action of this encounter this evening. 33 and a half minutes gone. Boy, these quarters are long this year, Darren.
Yes.
I'll tell you.
I think it's something that the game generally will be looking at as far as length of games.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like the flat 25 minutes.
Look, I don't think so, but no. I think you can probably tweak with some of the rules. Like time off in this competition is every stoppage, so do you actually just go when the ball goes through for a goal or a behind, and that's the only time off sort of situation? So I think it's something we need to certainly have a look at.
While I've been chatting there, Jake Hines missed that shot on goal. Through for a behind. So margin back to 40 points. Yeah, it's been certainly noticeable this year. In the TSL last year, you'd rarely get a quarter that would go beyond 30.
Yep.
Off hands, out of play from Dylan Farquhar. We have had 29 goals kicked, I acknowledge that. So question marks over Brandon Leary with this quad injury. Could be a few weeks for him. Scott Scudger out for another week next week. 2-match suspension. Sure the Devils back next week, Darren? No? Don't think they are?
No, because they've got a game at Windsor Park
Oh,
on
that's right.
Sunday next.
Talk about that in a second if we get a chance before the siren goes. Boundary throw in. Back now to Palfreyman. Hooks the kick inside. Mark taken there by Lockie Shea. He'll play on straight away with the 45 kick. Spots up right at Bug. Bug goes wide. Beautiful kick. Doesn't quite get the target though. Good work from Atkins. Jake Nash releases Theo Ives, who's going to go for a bit of a dash late in the game. Handball over the top. Kick inside 50. Ends up this time with Dom Pitt. And he'll have a shot on goal right on the siren. Well, Dom Pitt for his second. And to force this out to a game-high 46-point margin, which at half-time didn't really seem on the cards.
Not at all, no.
So just quickly, Darren, that Windsor Park game, what time next Sunday?
That's a very good question. I know I've got to be down there to open up at 8. So
Okay, it's probably at 10:30.
Probably, I would suggest probably 10:30 or, yeah.
Dom Pitt, last action of this game here at UTAS Stadium. Kicks towards goal, umpire barely moves. Finishes off the game in style, Dom Pitt, with his second goal. In a wonderful game here today at UTAS Stadium. And that's the final score of this game, 19-11, 125 North Launceston. A convincing win in the end, defeating Launceston 11-13, 79. So in that last quarter, they piled on another 6 goals. 4 did North Launceston. To the Blues, 2 goals, 4. So let's look at after half-time. It was 4 goals, 10 to Launceston, and 12 goals, 5 to North Launceston. So the players shaking hands. We'll get an interview there with Tony in a moment. So we'll just quickly go through the goal kicks. See if I can squeeze those in before Tony grabs somebody. For the winners, North Launceston, we had 4 goals to Declan Chugg, 3 goals to Jack Event, 2 each to Sam Husband and Dom Pitt, Alex Lee and Will Gibson, 1 each to Brandon Leary, Bailey Mitchell and Zach Martin. For the Blues, 3 goals to Jake Hines, 2 each to Zach Morris and Archie Wilkinson and Bailey Gillow, 1 to Ben Hyatt and Jesse Price. So good, playing in pretty good spirit there. I don't think there was too much underwards there. Which
No,
is
I
good
don't
to
think
see.
so. No. As I say, up until half-time, a really, really solid contest. And, look, after half-time, I think they just put the foot down.
Jack Avian, I think, is out there with Tony Webb.
It is. I've got Jack Advent here with me. Thanks for joining us on City Park Radio. Really good game of 2 halves, really.
Yeah, it was. It's definitely a tough slog, like Launceston. They bring their A game every time we play them, and it was even there for the first half. Our boys, they dug deep. We had a couple down on the bench there, so it was a good fight back and to get a decent win. I'm pretty proud of the boys. So
Yeah, it was Brandon Leary going down just before half-time, right after that blind turn goal that he kicked. Probably inspired the boys a bit because you really lifted your game right after that. Got the last 1 or 2 before half-time and came out firing.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Brad didn't play today either, so with Brandon being probably the focal point of our forward line, then him going down, we probably had to find a few avenues, which isn't a bad thing, It helps make us a more dangerous team in the long run. So hopefully it's only a minor one, and he's back next week. So
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. And you kicked 3 yourself, and I think Declan got 3 or 4 as well.
Yeah. Sometimes you get a lucky bounce every now and again, and it was pretty happy to get a few through. And Declan, he's a dangerous mid forward, and he's always hitting the scoreboard. So yeah, he's having a good year.
He is indeed. Now, how would you describe your role on the side today?
Today, I went to Heinze for the first half around the stoppages and that. He's a dangerous player and obviously one of their main driving points, so I was sort of negating him, and then obviously with Brandon going down I had to sort of get shuffled into the forward line a bit more, so yeah.
All right. And a special day really for the club, really. The boys from 95, I think it was, here celebrating.
Yeah. We had David Rees-Jones down in the rooms there just before the game and gave us a bit of a rev up and that. So obviously we wanted to put on a good show for them and show that we still go hard at the footy like they used to. And all them old stories they say, we want to sort of live up to that. So hopefully we did them proud.
Yeah, it's funny how the goals get from further out and all that over the years, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll be telling them I kicked them from 55 when I'm their age and that, so it goes around, doesn't it? So.
It does indeed. Thanks very much for joining us and thanks for spending time with me.
No worries, thank you.
Back to you.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks for your work on the boundary today.
No problem.
Pretty busy day today down there on the boundary, so good work.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Darren, well, we've got 5 minutes to wrap up because this game's gone to nearly 7 o'clock. I was expecting to finish it about 15 minutes ago, but those long quarters. We'll get our next program coming up. So we'll get straight down to it. Just a few quick stats there from the boys, Darren Lovell and Damien Donnelly. Paul Freeman was the biggest possession winner with 25. And just the 3 in the last quarter. Jake Hines, 25. Ben Hyatt, 23. He had a big last quarter with 8 possessions. Jaden Hines, 23. I think he was consistent all day. Jeffries, 22. Bailey Gillow, 21. And Jacob Boyd, 21 were the major possession winners there for the Blues. Maybe a few better players, Darren, and a 3-2-1 for you. City Park Radio Player of the Year.
I think North were well served by a couple of their seasoned veterans in Alex Lee, Jack Event. I think they sort of took control in that second half sort of thing. So, and obviously we've sort of gone through the Launceston ones there.